It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary. Not Jerry.
Hey guys, I love having that song back on there. I found a non-copywritten version, cover of the Thank God It's Friday theme song.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Got to put it on there. And I also got to use the alternate version of Tom's intro, which has the Not Jerry thing. I think it's funny when he does that. He calls Gary with a J is what he refers to me at when I come on Midnight's Edge. But I want to say hi to look everybody in the chat. We got some wonderful people out there. Lord Thoughts is here.
Beautiful people
Kaylee
out there.
D. Let's see. Well, Dork Knight's also on the show and in the chat. Brandon, the anime guy. PJO, which is secretly Brandon's mother. But because superheroes aren't allowed to let you know who their mothers are. You know the rules. So hi, PJO. Das Wolfen, who's a close friend of Keith and mine, is here. Socks Bulletin, a good friend on Facebook and on the chat. Let's see. Keith the Movie Geek. That is like the gayest name, Keith. It really is. Let's see. Quantum Cat 76 is here. And that's it. That's all we have right now.
Well, hey, everybody, don't forget to hit the like button. And hi, Mom. Thanks for the scarf.
Hi, Mom. Let's get
hi, Mama.
Guys. Welcome to TGIF. This is Pop Culture Minefield's favorite show to do every week, where we have all of our friends join us, or some of them, and we talk about. We either do interviews or we talk shit about entertainment. And this is going to be one of those days. Pat is here. Hey, Pat.
Hey,
What's
Pat.
up, buddy?
Hail to you.
The Beauty and the Beast TV show of the late 80s looks awful. Well, thanks for being 35 years late on that one.
Huh.
Of course,
I wonder what brought that up.
Or the internet back at that time.
Yeah.
But
he's probably saying that because of what happened with George R.R. Martin, letting everybody know it's going to be even longer to the next book.
Yeah.
So, what a week! What a week!
What a week! Yes.
We have had. We did a really good episode of the Scoop Zone. Who is crunching drinks?
$50. It's Keith.
Which one of you fuckers? I swear to God, I'm going to come over there and kick you right in your taint.
Speaking of taint, never mind. Well, I'm just saying, people have been asking about the mustache, and
the porn stash. What's up with that, buddy?
Oh, Cece likes the way it tickles her taint when we go. It's a family show. Sorry.
Things Dork Knight never hears.
I hope she withholds treats for you for a week.
I'm just trying to class it up, guys. Ron Burgundy style.
Class it up. So basically, you were doing an event there in Las Vegas, and you were doing your version of Commissioner Gordon, right?
Yeah.
How'd the event go, and what was it?
It's tomorrow.
So it hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I just.
okay.
This is preparation for the role. That's why I got my cop glasses and everything. Yeah, I've got I got a cool like a trench coat. It doesn't work without Batman though. I don't do it by myself. It's only when we have Batman. So yeah. Figure, why not? I'm the marketing director, but sometimes if I can dress up, I will. Like that Mankind thing I showed you guys. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Enough about me.
Very good, Brandon. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome to, buddy. Let me know if you want to join. Fuck it. I'll throw an invite into the chat for anybody who wants to join. Where's it at? I'll send it in a second. There we go. I got it. I figured it out. There you go. It's in the chat.
So if anybody wants one of these lovely soft scarves, just visit my mom's Etsy. I'm just kidding. She doesn't have one, and she doesn't have time to make them. But it is so soft.
Did your mom make that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I would love
She
one if
made
it
me-
was like
She
forest
made
green.
me a matching beanie too, but it's too
Really?
hot. Yeah. But I already showed that one off on another episode of. I'm pretty sure it was this show.
It
Maybe.
probably was.
Yeah. It's the only one my mom watches religiously, even when I'm not on it. So,
Well, your mom's awesome, man. I
She
get a
is.
kick out of your mom.
I mean,
She's cool.
hey, I like to think so. After all, she did pop me out of her twat, so there's that.
Wow, there's
Again,
there's a Hallmark
I hope she
card.
withholds treats from you for another week. You foul.
Dork Knight has now gone into Hallmark cards for Alzheimer's. It says the most fucked up shit, but you just don't want to remember it. Alzheimer's by Hallmark. What did you say?
Oh, and there's your mother. There she is.
You know,
Aw.
that mug is racist. It's too white for you.
Well, it's actually a gift from my
Oh my.
dad. In case I forgot my name, he thought I needed a mug with my name on it.
He's right on
Kyle
your
said
forehead.
he's going to be here, but he's going to be late, so I'm going to be managing the chat.
Okay.
Lord Thoth says, "Hell and TGIF Pat S was forgettable." LOL. Hello, Pop. Oh, you're not talking to us. You're talking to Pop Culture. Is he in here? I didn't see him in here. I don't think he's in here. I think he just mistyped ours. We're the first Pop Culture. Also, the only one named by Graham Nolan from Batman. Our show is given the name by Batman's artist, Graham Nolan. This show was not made for people who are woke and need a damn safe space. Oh, you are so right. I am everybody's cranky uncle. I am a
Now
Pretty
I look
much.
prodigiously cranky.
You?
I'm a very cranky dude. I don't put up with
Curmudgeonly.
people's bullshit and tend to speak my mind. So it pisses people off. But I got to be honest with you. The people that are my friends, they
Don't
get it.
acknowledge it.
They get it. All you
I like
people
it
on
when
the
you piss
panel,
me
most
off.
of you in the chat get it.
You know,
No,
when
I-
it pisses me
I
off,
appre- I
it turns
appreciate
me
you.
on. You know,
Yeah.
it turns me on, Gary.
Yeah, good. You know,
Like a
I
weirdo.
appreciate you. I've been
Oh,
kicked
I
off a
heard.
podcast for making jokes half as bad as those, so I appreciate it.
So welcome to the show, lovely Sherry. You're welcome to join. I put it in the chat if you want to join us. Anybody in the chat that wants to join us today, you're welcome to join us.
That
I'd-
sounded dirtier than you meant it, I'm sure. Put it in the chat.
I'd love to stick around for a long time, but unfortunately, work keeps calling my name. But I just wanted to stop by, say hi, and listen in. And tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. Isn't that right, Mr. Fat Steven?
What?
What?
He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, I know. You messaged me as
Stop
soon as I
asking
was
him what
checking
he
your
knows what's
DMs
happening.
on Twitter, dude. What the hell?
Fat
All right,
Steven
I'll
has become your
Gotta do
old
some
grandpa.
promotion here and,
Have you
and say
gotten?
yes. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The thumbnail's done. Has your shit been returned yet?
What the fuck happened? We
Yeah or
had
nay?
We had Dust Wolf in there.
Oh,
Dust Wolfen
No,
was
not
on
yet.
and now he's gone. Get back on here, Dust Wolfen.
yeah. So
Sherry, you want to join us? 6. Anybody wants to join us? You're welcome to join us.
yeah, I'll just be listening in and laughing my ass off as
Oh,
always.
you're having
and-
mic issues?
No, mic issues are no fun.
Bueller.
Mike?
I hear you,
Bueller.
man. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. How do you, Lord Thoth? You're an awesome dude, man. You want to join us, Lord? Oh, Lord.
yeah. I'm going to take off now. You guys have a great
Well,
day.
you have
and-
to go, and I know Jace wants to go to bed because it's late there in
I woke
Sweden.
up in Sweden. You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah,
But I do
guys,
like it, dude. I
guys,
do like
You're
it
not
when you
in
do when you're
Sweden?
like this.
It's
I
not
like-
Sweden.
Hey, Sweden! Not Swedish, Mac, the Norwegian.
We all know it's not Sweden, guys. It's Russia.
Well,
Well.
to that, I always say this.
Well, whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
have a lot of vodka
Pretty
here,
much.
yes.
But yeah, Brandon, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
You'll do your show, and then you come over to ours and talk about your show.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely will. So, all right, guys, you take care, y'all. Now you
I'll
hear?
see you
Yeah,
tomorrow,
man.
buddy.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, Brad.
Hasta la
I
vista,
did-
baby.
Jace,
I did
you have a
wake
good
up.
night, my friend. Get some rest.
No, it's fine. I woke up. I got something to eat.
Oh, you're awake now? Oh,
Yeah, I
fine.
just needed food. I got some snacks.
I don't understand that. Are you saying that anybody in Florida can't come on the show? Is there some sort of problem down there? She's like, sorry, I'm too busy posting pornographic memes to the private chats. Yeah, Keith, you're not lucky. You're not in the chats with me. You need to join those chats. I'll send you an invite so you can see
Wait, what?
how
Yes,
naughty,
want to.
lovely Sherry can be.
I wonder if like I'm surprised she can go with the sensational Sherry. Oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
Smash that like button. Thank you, Kaylee. You're awesome.
Yeah.
She's such a sweetheart. If you want to join us, Kaylee, you're more than welcome to. Haven't had you on since, what was it, last year when you were on?
Oh shit. Can I say something about like this is I just realized this is my first time doing a show since Scott Hall passed. And for anybody who doesn't know, Scott Hall was a big wrestler. It's called Razor Ramon in the 90s. He was the epitome of cool. I literally have his action figure pop on my desk and
that's fucking cool.
have had it for years. I actually took and a lot of people reached out to me, like the Popcast guys reached out to me, and that was really, really sweet of them. But it was weird, man. And I'm afraid of how I'm going to react to William Shatner dying, because I took Scott Hall's death really kind of hard, man. And
My hope
I
is
got
that
tanked.
he outlives all of us.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I got tanked that night and fell off the wagon. A bunch of friends were worried about me. I was like, damn, over the death of a celebrity. But he touched a lot of people's lives, and I just wanted to give a shout out since this was my first time since his passing. And what did he say? His famous speech was, work hard pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. So give it up for Scott Hall, everybody. R.I.P. Thank you, man.
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Let's get you.
We
Nice
should
speech, man.
probably put together a celebration of William Shatner on his birthday towards
Yeah.
the end of this month. Both
That would
he
be
and
cool.
Leonard Nimoy were born in the month of March, about 4 to 5 days apart, and I think we should do that.
I think that'd be awesome, man. And you saw my outfit the other day. I do a meme.
Yeah.
I'll shave the stash off, but
Oh, Dust Wolfen has rejoined us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
got
get
my
mic
mic
working?
issues. Yep.
Okay, good.
it's because he's using that
We
gaming
also
headset.
have, by the way, because he hasn't said a goddamn thing, our buddy Steven, deleted scenes. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, fair to partly cloudy. Sorry for being late. Real life intruded, and I had to take care of a couple of things real quick, but I'm with you now.
Oh,
Nice
shit,
seeing you again,
Courtney's
man.
here. Courtney, if you look up in the chat, I sent an invite for anybody that wants to join us. You're welcome to join us. Here, I'll
we can
post
give
it
her shit
again.
about that. We can give her shit about that long name in person. So that'd be fun.
I don't call her anything but Courtney now because I'm done with that fucking long name. I'm not going to say that full fucking name.
Codball. I'm gonna start calling her Codballs. There we go, Codballs.
We got a rest in peace from Pat S.
Oh, thank you, Pat.
Yeah, it's going to break us, Brandon, when we lose Shatner.
Oh yeah, man. No, if I took
And
Scott Hall,
don't
that hard,
worry,
Yeah.
Socks, I will be talking about fucking New Kirk. And I don't mean New Kirk from Hogan's Heroes.
Not a fan of this new Kirk.
That pencil neck motherfucker. I
He's
swear
tall,
to
he's
God.
skinny. Flanky.
I'm like, are you seriously going to
Too pretty
hire
boy.
someone with a pencil fucking neck to play Kirk? Kirk had a
You know what?
man's neck.
You know what?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about all this. What is insidious is the fact that
There
Kurtzman,
you go. Here.
Kirk
Kurtzman
seems
told
the
us.
type, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, Kurtzman told us exactly what he was going to do with this character 2 to 3 seasons ago. Okay, so we all know what to expect.
Oh, yeah,
We all
yeah,
know
because I
how-
brought that up in my post
Mhm.
yesterday on Twitter. It's like Kurtzman told us what he was planning to do.
Yeah.
So
Is
don't
this
act
a new Kirk?
surprised by it.
Yeah. This is a new Kirk, and look, when they come out with the deep fakes later, it's not going to look right. Like he's got nowhere near the build. Like that's what I
He's
liked
got
about
a
Chris
neck
Pine. He
like
had-
a fucking pencil.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
This looks
It's-
fucking stupid.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
and,
You mean
and again, I hate
platform?
to go all deep Trek on you, but you notice the at the end of the sleeves, the
Yeah.
ranking even based on classic Trek is wrong.
Yep.
And I'm just like, okay, we're all just cosplaying now. That's exactly what they're doing. This is cosplay.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Lord Thoth's comment about coming on the show.
We're not missing anything, man. Just a ton of salt being dumped on this, whatever it is.
Is this for a new Star Trek show? Because I'm not a big
Strange New Worlds season 2.
Worlds.
Okay, because I'm not a big Star Trek guy, so that's just why I wonder. But I do love some of the shows.
What is it with them taking emo vampires and making them badasses?
Look, I got nothing against this actor. I got nothing
Kirk
against any
is
of the
judging
actors.
you, Keith.
Okay.
This guy's
He
way
can-
too. No,
He can judge me all he wants.
his build is all wrong. He's too tall.
It's supposed to be young Kirk. I
You don't get the vibe that's Kirk. You don't get the vibe.
well, that's
at
because
all.
you haven't seen him hitting on everybody. Basically, that's how they're going to write this character. He's going to hit on anything that moves.
We'll see how that goes, I guess.
Yeah. But
I have a better Kirk cosplay than that guy. That's crazy.
God, please put your porn mustache away.
I'll shave it. I'll shave it tomorrow.
You know what's gonna
Don't you
happen?
worry.
Next Friday, he's gonna have the chevrons of the ranking of Kirk on the mustache dyed a different fucking color. Like, hey, I'm now Commissioner Kirk Tiberius Gordon.
So what I was going to do, actually, what I was thinking about doing was after the event tomorrow, do J. Jonah Jameson mustache and just walk around and be like, "Bring me pictures of Spider-Man."
Just shave the middle.
It's actually really good, J.K.
Yeah.
you know what?
Shave the sides, leave the middle.
I would leave the stash as it is.
Yeah.
Because that makes you more like the person that inspired the character.
And once again, look at Shatner.
Because you all know who.
Neck.
Not just that, but the man oozes machismo. Come on, just look at that. That shirt is
every
wearing him.
time Kurtzman does something, I want to drive all the way to L.A. and fucking go to his door, knock on it, and like Stewie Griffin did with Will Ferrell. But I don't need a ladder. When he opens that door, I'm going to kick him right in his fucking tank.
Didn't your buddy Josh work with him on a series or something? I remember vaguely.
Yeah. He's
one
one of
just,
those guys.
If you could go back in time and you could just strangle him.
Because he was there. People would get fired, and he was the last one standing, so he'd get a job.
It's like it's not as bad as killing like Hitler as a baby, but like if Josh had known then what he knows now, he could have done the world a very good service and just strangled that kid.
No, if you kill him, he don't learn nothing. I just
Pat says great hair. He bought it himself. Yep, it's true. He was wearing a hairpiece all the way back to the first season.
Did you say he had hairpiece?
Yeah.
Hairpiece?
Hairpiece.
I'm
gonna get your fucking joke,
man.
Keith.
And I got to tell you, the joke I made about that the other day is, what's the difference between love and herpes?
Herpes lasts forever.
That joke came out thanks to 1980s.
Yeah.
I told that joke when I was 17 the first time. I felt bad about it because then I found out one of the girls that we knew had herpes, and she would have outbreaks, and then I was like, "Oh, I can't tell herpes jokes anymore."
Yes, you can. It's a shockingly high percentage of Americans, especially, have herpes. It's shockingly
the most. The venereal disease that more people have than anybody else than any other disease is chlamydia.
Yeah, well, at least that's curable.
Really?
People will get it and not know they have it. You don't have flare-ups or anything. You just have it.
I have had chlamydia once in my life or twice in my life, so I know how that is.
You can only get it once.
I've had it more.
Yeah.
No, you can't get rid of it.
Welcome to Pop Culture Minefield. We talked
Chlamydia.
about herpes.
I've had that.
I just think it's a miracle I've never caught an STD in my life. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
I just
especially
said it
when I was
because
in the Army.
he
I
mentioned
really don't know how
chlamydia.
I fucking managed to
And that
avoid
had
getting
that
shot by that bullet.
sometimes.
But I remember as a paramedic up in Washington, right after I got out of the Army, there were these kids, and we were watching the X-Men series on Saturday morning. And so the neighborhood kids would come around because we had an open bay window, and they'd come into the window and watch X-Men with us. And somebody yelled something about the patient has the clap. And so the kids were like, oh man, what's the clap? And I went, oh, fuck, So I just made up a whole story. I said, well, it's a venereal disease. And if you get it, you grow hands near your genitals and they clap.
What the?
They were like, really? I went, yeah, it's really
And you know
awkward if you're going to a movie.
One or two of those poor bastards probably still believe it to this day.
Yeah, probably.
Gary Cassell.
But God, that was an awesome
corrupting
show,
a
X-Men.
nation's youth since
What?
the 1980s.
In a world
Yeah, I
gone
think
mad,
the thing that
only
bugged me with
Gary.
his hair was transitioning from having flowing hair to the hard hair piece he wore in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Pat, are you telling us that from experience, buddy?
Yes, the clap is gonorrhea. Thanks, Pat.
In case anybody out there didn't know.
Well, there you got it. Thanks a lot, Pat. This
I
medical
wish you-
moment brought to you by Pat S.
I wish you had you have that CBS They Don't Care clip. I wish you had like the more you know, like for dumb shit like that.
Chlamydia. The more you clap.
The more you clap. Yes.
You just got learned.
Yeah.
Clap on, clap off. See you, doctor.
That's a good thing that gonorrhea is curable.
Speaking
But,
of
look, Keith, I expect you to take lead here and start talking about some of the shit this week. One,
Okay, well,
stop sending me links to things that I have to have a paid account to read.
isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Hey, there's this great article about the head of Zaslav and his team. I click on it. You can read this account if you will pay at least $1.
Hey man, that class separation thing's real on the
I ain't
internet.
gonna pay for shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
Amen.
well,
to
listen.
that.
First,
Six is here.
we're going to start
Hey,
off
Six.
at the top.
Hi.
Big story of the day. Hello, Six.
Hey,
We're going to
Six.
start off at the top. Big story of the day. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the release of the Snyder Cut.
That's
Hey,
big
Okay.
news.
It's amazing, man.
Has it been a
Anyway.
slow news week or something?
No, it's not been a slow news week. I'm just starting off the top.
Sorry.
Because that kind of goes into all of the stuff happening with Warner Brothers and
Oh, you
all
don't have
of
to
the-
defend yourself, bro. I was just being a smart ass. I'm sorry. My bad. You're good. I'll shut
Anyway, so I take it everybody's at least seen that movie one time.
I have not.
Whoa, who said that?
6.
6.
I know. I sound like
Get
a
her
dude.
out of here. Get her out of here.
Well, we're about to
Hey,
spoil the fuck out of this movie, girl.
Yeah, well, may I ask, why? I mean, is it you don't have access to HBO Max?
I do.
or-
I just haven't gotten around to watching it, I guess.
Okay.
It's
that's
4
all
hours
right.
either way.
Is it really 4 hours?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
4 hours. But
Oh.
you know what? Unlike the last version of the movie that they released, it actually flows very well. And
I
it
love
doesn't
the
really
movie.
seem like
I
4
love it.
hours.
It's a really great movie.
It seemed like it took less time to watch that than it took to watch the Batman.
Holy crap, he has a face.
Who?
You, I've never seen you on a camera.
Where the
Yeah,
hell
Hey,
have
buddy.
I think everybody's got one of those.
The only
What, a
only
face?
thing I hate in the Snyder Cut is Barry Allen, aka the Flash, in that movie, because it's not the Flash. It's not Barry Allen at all, dude.
That's Ezra
So-
Miller. He's going to kill the KKK
The-
and choke pregnant people. What are you talking about? He's
the Justice League Snyder Cut actually made my top. It made it into my top 10 of 2020. I've actually watched that movie a few times. I even spent the time to watch it in black and white, expecting to see some new footage and didn't. So that was a bummer, but whatever. It was a better story. It didn't feel long, although but because I watched it at home when I could pause it and go piss and stuff like that. So really, it just didn't feel
Yeah.
slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the hell out of it. The only thing that took me out was that scene at the end with Ben Affleck and I think it was the Martian Manhunter at the end. And Ben Affleck looks so much smaller than he did in the entire movie, and that's because of when they shot that. And just kind of took me out of it a little bit, for that scene. But that's a small.
Hey, I want to welcome Osa Fresh 1994. Welcome to the chat, my friend.
Hail, man.
What's up, Osa Fresh? 5 times. 5 times.
I want to see if someone's going to get an account name that says Poppin' Fresh.
Well, so now with all of you that have actually seen the film, are you looking forward to any more films within the Snyderverse, or are you done? I mean, is it something that you would think, okay, I've seen it, I'm good, or would you like to see more?
I want to see more.
I want to see the finish of the story, because the Snyder movie wasn't a finish. It was like, I want more. I want to see the finished product of it, I want to see it end. I want a proper ending, with Darkseid and everything. I want a proper ending. So I want more in that case.
Yeah, no, I back that sentiment. I'll quote Deftones and say, I feel like more, totally.
Yeah.
Not if it's 4 hours long in slow motion with grade scale. No, I wouldn't. No.
Well, it's looking like it'll more than likely be an HBO Max event if they do any more of those.
Which I'm down with, man. They can break it up.
Down with that.
Like make like an 8-hour movie, like they do with over at Marvel and Disney. I mean, shit, it'd be great.
Can you get that on disc, or is it only available on HBO Max?
No, it's out now.
It's available on Blu-ray and DVD.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is. I have the Blu-ray right here. So
look at you. I'm still expecting a brand new behind-the-scenes book because that's what they owe us. The one that they ended up putting out for the first movie is incomplete. But that's just
I bought the Zack Snyder's Justice League Blu-ray the day it came out in Norway. I traveled to Oslo just to buy it.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest selling Blu-ray of last year. I think
it might be one of them. Yeah.
Hey guys, duty calls. I'll try to hop back on later, but if I can't, it's been fun. But that's one of the downsides to owning your own business. That shit can happen anytime. So, peace out.
You got grounded, didn't you?
Peace out, brother.
Enjoy your duty.
Thank you.
So, now, given everything that is coming down the pike,
I'm sorry, by his crack pipe
down the pipe.
Yeah. What's that smell?
Is that a Captain Pike segue?
Yeah.
But only in beeps.
We're going to transition over to the unveiling of the actor that will be the new Lieutenant Jim Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Oprah?
If only. That'd be too much fun.
Oprah as Kirk. Yeah.
Did she put on white face? That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week the photo was unveiled and of the new actor playing Lieutenant Kirk, which again is kind of surprising that you're going to have Lieutenant Kirk serving on the same ship with Khan's ancestor. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
I've actually got video footage from the original series where Kirk explains the only time he ever met Pike.
Roll it.
And I'll see if I can find it real quick. Keep talking.
Okay. Anyway, yes. It turns out that the character of Khan Noonien Singh has an ancestor serving on board the Enterprise under Captain Pike.
Is it someone that Kirk in the original series made out with? Because he has a long list of people he made out.
He never ran into anybody like that. This is part of the Kurtzman way of telling stories now.
Oh, platform track.
Yeah. She's supposed.
Keith, you mean Descendant?
True, a descendant, I should say, yes. But these are the same people that said that they were able to clone Data in order to give him children.
Here you go. Here's the video footage. I found it.
You ever met Chris Pike?
We met when he was promoted to fleet captain.
About your age. Big, handsome man, vital, active.
I took over the Enterprise from Spock. Served with him for several years.
11 years, 4 months, 5 days.
There you go.
Good show. And again, that's how you basically tell a really good story. You don't even need to spend a couple of $1 million doing major flashbacks. You know, good writing will solve a majority of your problems every single time.
Do you honestly expect Kurtzman to follow continuity in anything?
Well, this is all about money. You know, he's doing what he's doing because he and his company are able to keep more of the money rather than having to share the money. That's what
What's
all of this is
continuity?
about. Say what?
I said,
I
what's
think he's
continuity?
joking.
Yeah.
Well, continuity basically is, you know, you tell a story and if you repeat it into the next show or the next
I know that, but
generation
does
of shows.
Kurtzman know that?
Oh,
The only continuity that Kurtzman knows is him apologizing after sex.
Ooh.
with himself.
Ouch.
Oh,
That was Fat Steven who said that, Mr. Kurtzman, not deleted scene. We are two different people. We are not.
How about this? How about this is also
No.
Fat Steven. Hey, Kurtzman, who wears? Never mind. Fuck you.
Oh, shit.
Short shorts?
Dude at Comic-Con literally said Star Trek as a platform. Anything he says
did.
after that, he pretty much might as well become the next Jay Murphy of Star Trek. Who cares? And it's
Yeah,
showing.
he did say that. He did say
Yeah,
that.
Discovery
He
is
did say that,
failing.
yeah.
Picard is a joke. We got. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
No.
You're not at all.
He cucked Star Trek. Leave it at that.
And for those of you who don't know what cuck means, it is a guy who watches his woman fuck another dude.
And
I
we're
just
watching.
learned that this week.
Just look up
actually.
Jack Murphy. That'll explain everything.
Some guys
It
are
was
into
new to
that,
me,
though.
but I learned that.
Yes,
And we're
some guys
watching
are,
him cuck Star
some guys
Trek.
are into that.
I needed the money. I couldn't pay rent, so I decided, hey, let's fuck a franchise.
Well, to cover something that had been asked earlier,
Take it
it's
over.
actress Christina Chong is playing Leon Noonien Singh.
What?
Yeah, I
So-
know. It makes you want to vomit when you hear stupid shit like
Wait,
this.
wait. Is this going to relate to Picard at all? Because I know they went back in time. So is that little vial that Q gave Brent Spiner, is he going to do like the Fry from Futurama and screw his grandmother just so he's born?
That's
good
probably even more interesting than what he's actually going to end up doing.
It's quite, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. They all have the same face right now. No.
So it's Anson
Well,
Mount returns.
This is
with
the answer
Rebecca
to all of
Romijn.
that. There you go.
We
Anson
don't
Mount.
care.
The more you blow.
Oh man.
The more you know.
Anson Mount, Rebecca Romijn, and Ethan Peck are the major actors for this new series, and they will be joined by actor Paul Wesley playing Lieutenant Kirk.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting tired. Why would they hire someone named Wesley and not expect trouble? They did this shit on purpose because they rely on us hating them to keep them going.
Somewhat.
Well, negative attention is attention.
Yep.
Somewhat. It doesn't help them actually make money from all of the products and product tie-ins, though.
Wait,
That's the only downside to their plan, you know. But this show will premiere May 5th on Paramount Plus.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. So seriously, how many here are actually planning on watching at least the pilot episode?
I will. I want to know if they're going to do a crossover with Master Chief.
Not I, said it's Courtney.
I'll get around to it eventually. I still haven't watched a new season of Picard yet.
Oh, you're not missing much.
You must really have a strong constitution, my friend, in order to sit through that. You know,
I do. It's called beer.
I have to watch the first 3 episodes tonight because of something I have coming up. So
eulogy.
Yeah. I will be dead probably sometime by tomorrow morning. So
Don't say that. No.
Here lies deleted scenes, who fictionally put himself in the category of watching Picard. Why? Who cares? Who knows? He watched it. The end. Sorry.
Anyway, yes, the new series will premiere May 5th, Paramount Plus, and from what I can tell, I'm not gonna watch it. I think
Whoa! May the 5th?
Yes.
Are they seriously trampling the day after May the 4th be with you?
Nothing.
They didn't do it on the 4th.
No, not sacred, but think about it. Because people use May the 5th as the actual May the 6th be with you, May the 5th be with you. Like they use that day for the actual, you know what I mean? So they're putting a Star Trek premiere on a Star Wars. This is going to be funny. I'm not saying it's sacred, Gary, but you know what I mean. I'm sorry, Keith. Go on. I keep cutting you off with bad jokes.
You're right. You know, I was kind of surprised that they decided to do that, but again, they're running the show, and again, in the face of everything going on right now with Warner Brothers and David Zaslav, there are still companies out there that want to continue going down the road that they are going. So that's
Mikey just sent this to me. Mikey Sutton. It's from a deleted scene.
Nice.
Oh man, that actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it does.
I'm telling you,
this is why I want more.
Power Rangers.
I'm telling you, we will get Green Lanterns probably in Justice League 2 and 3.
More importantly, it wasn't animated.
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be more than just him.
I'm telling you right now. Can I get a witness?
I'm thinking what they're going to end up doing is they're going to give us John, but we're also going to get Hal and a few others, because the final battle with Darkseid is going to be big. And I think they're aiming for kind of like an Endgame style ending to all of this. You know, so that's the reason why you keep peppering in all these new heroes. Oh, sorry, spoiler for Zack Snyder's Justice League. You have a few additional characters that weren't in the theatrical version that I think Snyder is peppering in there for the big finale. So we're going to get a lot of characters in this. And
they better give me Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
I'm not sure they're coming, but I
heard one of the rumors that they're going to race flip him.
That part I did hear. Booster Gold.
In the DC Legends you're talking about, the Booster Gold, he is race swapped in that show, the last final season episode.
Wow.
They did do it. Yeah, they did do it. I saw it, so yeah, they did.
I think the characters that we should be looking forward to seeing, though, by the time you get to Justice League 3, will be New Genesis. They would be dumb not to have the characters of New Genesis be a part of this entire storyline, because you're going to need the numbers. If Apocalypse attacks and they decide to go all in with finding the anti-life equation, then you're going to need the numbers, and you're going to need Highfather, and you're going to need Light Ray. You're going to need them all. Big Barda, Scott Free. It's going to be big, and hopefully it'll be well done.
I'd like to see them do a Mr. Miracle show.
Well, as long as they don't adapt anything that Tom King has done, then they're going to be good. Because Tom's a little too. Tom was helping out with the Ava DuVernay version of New Gods, and from what I was hearing, that wasn't even close to being like the comics. So he was helping her write it so that he could give her cover and say, look, there's a comic book guy helping me make this. Thus, it's official.
You are correct, Lord Thoth. They are going to break canon again and again.
Yeah. Well, for Star Trek, that's what they do. That's an average episode of Discovery and Picard. It breaking canon all the time. All the time.
What is that? What is breaking canon? I know I'm really probably
breaking established system, breaking an established storytell, universe, lore, history, continuity within franchise characters that have already been there, and then disrupting it and retelling it in your own format just because I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It would be like if they decided to do a Star Wars television series and KK decided not to make Luke Skywalker Darth Vader's son. That would be a major break of canon.
Wait. Yeah. He's Darth Vader's son?
Spoiler.
Oh, Jesus, Stephen. So we can go over a few of the things that Keith and I went over with 24/7 Fusion Media and Sil this week.
Oh, yes.
Over on Geekosity, which I thought we could go more into it on this show. Because we are limited to 2 to 3 minutes doing the show with them. Talking about these things. And so one of the things that got me this week was we were discussing this. Henry Cavill to film new scenes of Superman for The Flash. And we got to go into a little bit of, like, Keith and I are aware of his contract. And his contract is very limiting.
Yeah.
And the problem is like, once he's finished that contract, he has to get a new one. So he is very cautious about what he's going to be Superman in.
Yeah.
And this is one I think he felt was important, whereas doing the end of Peacemaker was not important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zax is here. Yay, Zax is here. Hey, Zax.
But now,
hey, Zax. Long time, bro.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Good to see you again.
Hi, Kyle.
Sorry I'm late.
Well, you know, like I've always said, it's better to be latent than never.
Well, someone has to keep this.
Sorry, buddy. I just beat a dick.
I thought it was funnier what he was saying.
And latent, of course, means gay. That you're latent.
Oh,
gay. So it's
different
better
kind of
to be
streets then, huh? Not street corners, Gary. Streets.
It's always the gay men with the biggest cocks.
Yes, it's true. So, yeah, I'm glad you're here. How's things going today?
Good. Busy day. Busy week.
Yes, it has been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We got good news that we were terrified that we were going to have to move out of our temporary housing, like now. And but we threatened with a lawyer, and then they extended us to June.
Nice.
So we've got this place because the farm is not ready, man. It doesn't even have power, much less running water.
Did you threaten to hit them with a lawyer or to call a lawyer?
Oh, looky who's here. Oh, good Lord, it's Cameron Pasha.
Hey, Cameron.
God rest your soul, you good
my
man.
friends.
Hello,
Cameron.
I can only stay for a few minutes because I'm about to head out to the mosque for Friday prayers. But I got the lovely
Let's bring
information,
this up,
Jerry,
then.
because I think this is so important to me that I felt I needed to come to this lovely channel and say a few things on it to add as part of the conversation before I take off. So
look at that pretty face.
Sad about this?
Yeah,
look
man.
at that pretty face,
look,
man.
There's a lot of mixed views on this, but I really liked what you had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I agreed completely with it or not, it's not important. I really liked what you said, and that's why I wanted you to come on and speak about Ms. Marvel's trailer.
Yes.
You piqued my interest.
Yeah, can I add one quick thing to this, Cameron, as well as a question, because there's so many kind of debates going on depending on how people are taking part of the trailer, and I want to get this straight out. It's a two-part question. One, is magic in general against the religion of Muslim? And two,
Islam.
The Islam. My apologies. Okay,
it's all good, man. We're flowing.
Thank
it's all
you.
Good.
Sorry. My apologies.
We're good.
Yeah. And the second thing is the way the trailer was cut. There's a scene where it says, "I can't live in an imagination land no more," and it's cutting from them doing prayer to the Captain Marvel costume in the trailer. And is that considered offensive, or is it just a way of bad cutting?
Really wonderful. These are sophisticated questions. I want to thank you. So number one, with regard to magic, actually, hold on a second.
Sorry, Gary.
And like that, Cameron left
Here's
his
a great book.
back.
Here's a great book just published a year ago. Magic in Islam.
All right, cool. Thank you.
On Amazon. It's a scholarly look at the history of magic. Just like in the conservative elements of the religion, anything that could be deemed as magic are seen as sinful. Just like people, Christians and Jews will say the Bible says sorcerers and witches are condemned, right? Okay, same kinds of things. There are verses in the Quran that discuss what are called the sahirun, which are the magicians, particularly in relationship to to Moses, because they were Egyptian magicians who were opposing him with their own miracles, right? And so those are condemned. But the interesting thing about those magicians end up converting to following Moses in the Islamic version of the story. Once his snake eats their snakes, and they see that it's not magic, it's real, they all embrace the one God, and Pharaoh kills all of them. So those magicians end up becoming heroes, which is very interesting. There is one other verse in the Quran that talks about how these fallen angels in Babylon, Harut and Marut, taught human beings black magic, how to divide up families and cause husbands and wives to hate each other, but they were always warn people, if we're teaching you this stuff, it's only going to lead to your ruin. So if you take it, we're telling you right now, it's going to destroy you, and people still did it. It's like the Sith; they know what they're getting into. So now, with that background, historically, like every one of the Abrahamic religions, in fact, all religions have miracle stories, and all religions have stories about holy figures do miracles. Not even after Jesus, people say this wonderful saint did this miracle, right? It's a very real part of all of our religions. So, are miracles magic? Are miracles done by good people magic? It all depends on how you use the word. But in the Islamic tradition, we got lots of stories. I got lots of stories from today, from people I know, where stories of like, wow, they did this healing that completely healed the person. Is that magic, right? It's all how you define the word. So miraculous events certainly are part of the Islamic tradition. Miraculous events done by holy people after the Prophet Muhammad are part of the tradition. So if you define magic as supernatural or events, then that can, it all depends on the intention of it. So
Magic brace. Okay, let's say magic bracers from her.
Magic braces. I mean, look, we're the ones putting out the Arabian Nights stories of genies and bottles that can grant you your wishes, right? So we've always had objects that are magically imbued as part of the tradition.
And Aladdin's name was actually Ali Din, as I recall, right?
Yeah. Well, the way we actually pronounce it in the Muslim world is Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. What's interesting is the original story, the Arabian Nights. Aladdin is Chinese. He's actually Chinese, and he's from basically the Uyghur area, the modern Uyghur area in Western China, and that's in the original 1,000-year-old stories. And his adversary is a West African magician who is trying to get his power, right? And so that story was represented the broad expanse of Islamic culture. So you have a West African culture versus a Chinese Muslim, right? So the full range of the culture was represented in the Aladdin stories. So now to answer your second question, that cut is an interesting cut. I certainly hope that was not their intention, right? Because I would, if the show ends up being believing in God and being a Muslim who prays is an imaginary thing and it's a bad thing, I certainly ain't going to support that, right? And that's not the message. I don't think that's the message. That may just have been a cut without thinking about the implications, but the fact that you saw it, it shows a sophisticated level of seeing that. Okay, so I hope that answers that question.
No, that's cool. It's better to know. So if we see those debates going on without actually knowing, it's going to cause an assumption and a narrative that could cause a lot of.
I haven't heard that commentary from any Muslim. In fact, the general commentary has been like, "Oh my God." They actually showed them praying, and I've worked on shows where they're Islamic prayer, and I'm on set, and they still do it wrong. They did it right here, right? And what's actually interesting, if you notice something that's not woke, in Muslim mosques today, men and women pray separately, and if they're in the same room, women will pray behind the men. There's usually a separate barrier, right? And woke feminists will say that shows Islam thinks women are inferior, right? That's how they've seen it. The very fact that they showed in that scene, there's a barrier, and the women are behind the barrier, and men are in front of the barrier. That's pretty anti-woke, unless the character later critiques that. We'll see if she does. I don't think she would, because that will cause the offense that Disney accountants were like, we don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's woke at all. I don't think there's any woke or SJW stuff within it. I just want to make sure they're showing the proper respect. And it's probably just bad
what I saw was not in any way disrespectful, and I got my eye out for that because I've been in situations where I've seen people openly disrespect it and say contemptuous things on set in front of me, not caring, right? I've seen it.
Right.
So,
Right, cool.
now, I don't have a lot of time, so if I may just give a quick rundown of my reaction.
Yes, please.
So, and,
All right.
and again, no one has to agree with this. This is just coming from my heart. People who've seen me know that I am a fan. I'm also personally pretty conservative, and I'm not woke. I'm sort of like Malcolm X kind of Muslim, which is very critical of modern progressive liberal thinking, right? And that's where I am, and I've been very honest about that. And I don't like race swapping for the sake of race swapping, and I don't like when minorities are used as political tools rather than authentic stories, right?
Amen.
And we've seen that in the last 10 years. We've seen that, and it makes me feel very upset because it humiliates the actor and it disrespects the culture because they're not. It's what Malcolm X warned about. It's like the liberals. He said it. Those liberals they come in like foxes to be your friend, and they're trying to actually ruin you and make you feel weak. He said all that, right? He said that 7 years ago. So with regard to this trailer, I have been very concerned about this show. I've written about it on my Patreon for a year now because I've heard from friends who are close to the show. I have several young people who I mentored who worked on the show. I know people involved in the production, and they've expressed concern, or at least some of the people have expressed concerns, about whether the writing is any good. They had a very inexperienced woman who had basically had no credits, but she was a Pakistani woman in her 20s from Britain who had written a lot of silly things on Twitter about white men, and they gave her the job. They didn't hire me, right? They all know who I am. They didn't hire me because they needed that person who's malleable for them. So I've been very concerned. I've written on my Patreon that I've heard it's gone through massive reshoots, which will then reveal publicly it's gone through massive reshoots. I heard that the directors, the pilot, Adil and Bilal, who are directing the new Batgirl, and they directed Bad Boys 3, they came in, they didn't like the pilot. They're practicing Muslim guys. They're conservative Muslim guys like me, and they didn't like the pilot, and they thought it was inauthentic, and they tore it apart and had it rewritten. So that says something, right? And it's been reshot since then. So all those things have made me concerned. All I can go off is the trailer that I saw, right? I don't know what the show is going to be. The trailer that I saw, and I'm being very honest here, it moved me to tears. It wasn't what I expected because it was literally the girl, Iman Vellani, who's playing Ms. Marvel. She looks like my niece, and she behaves like my niece. I just got off the phone with my niece just before I came on, and who grabbed the phone from my sister, and she was so jumping up and down. She's like, Iman, she's got my name, and she's daydreaming like me. My niece is on the spectrum. She's very deep on the spectrum. She's very daydreaming. It's very hard for her to live with the rest of us, right? And she's always having her teacher say, "No, be present." Just like what we saw there. Be present, but don't be in her daydreams. That's who she is, right? And so all of the body language was very real, authentic for awkward teenage autistic Pakistani girl, because I've seen it with my own eyes and my family, right? My sister and I laughed about the stuff about her mooning over the shirtless dude, right? Because that's very real. Because Pakistani culture, even today in 2022, Pakistani American culture is very sexually conservative. How she even got to that party would probably be her mom would be upset she was even at that party and she'd be lectured at, right? But because we're very sexually conservative, we don't really have sex outside of marriage, and even here in America, 2022, it's very uncommon. Certainly in high school, there's a lot of sort of hormonal stuff. Teenage Muslims have a thing. Teenage Pakistanis particularly have this thing of gazing with longing at the other sex because you're not even really sure you should be talking to them, right? So that's not your typical American teenage experience today in 2022. It is typical for Pakistanis. My sister is a liberal professor at UPenn, right? But even she's like, when somebody wanted to take my niece to the prom, she's like, prom? We don't do proms. What are you talking about? You're going to go to the prom, right? And so that was a big drama, right? And so understand that they authentically got that. They authentically got the mom who says to her that line that hit me in the heart, "You're not this person," right? The mom who doesn't want her to go down this road of, embracing this very Americanized life, even though she's an American living in America. I've had that conversation with my mom. I've seen that look from my mom, right? Every moment in this trailer felt real to me of the people that I have experienced, the person that I am. There was a lot of discussion right now on Midnight's Edge that upset me very much about the usage of the word brown girl, where she said, "Oh, that shows that they're just making a racial thing. She's talking about herself as a brown girl." And I talked to my sister, and we laughed because that's how we talk amongst ourselves today. My sister, in her 40s, God bless her, professor at UPenn, calls herself the brown girl from New Jersey. I call myself the brown guy from Brooklyn because that's how we identify ourselves. Still, we are very conscious. Pakistani culture has a very deep consciousness of skin tone, right? And that's its own internal racism, which I think is global. I think you have, in any culture where you have a wide range of skin tones, Pakistani culture, there are people that are blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and there are people that are as dark as African. You got the full range in the culture, right? And in that culture, the lighter skinned you are, the more beautiful you're considered in that culture, right? And so all Pakistanis who are sort of different shades of where I am, different shades of brown, are very conscious of being brown. And that's not a comment on white people are bad. That's a comment on our own insecurity in our culture that, you know, people have come up to me in Pakistani culture and said, oh, wow, you're so fair-skinned. I don't think I'm fair-skinned, right? But compared to other darker-skinned Pakistani I am. And then they think, well, that makes you attractive. That creates all kinds of pathologies of self-esteem. Right. So we refer to ourselves as brown people because we're constantly aware of this internally, not in relation to white America, internally within our own issues, right? With our own cultural pathologies. We're very aware of it. So that was a very authentic moment because she's saying her low self-esteem. I don't think a brown girl from Jersey can save the world. My sister talks like that. Today, I talk like that. Like I say regularly, I don't know what I'm thinking being a brown guy from Brooklyn thinking I can make it in Hollywood. I say that. It's a real phrase. My sister, when I actually put her on Midnight's Edge on the phone because I need people to hear her, she had no idea what the previous conversation had been. And she started saying, well, this brown girl thing is what I talk like. And people in the chat were like, you're making that. I was like, that's part of our culture. It's a subset. Pakistani American culture is not Pakistani culture. It's not Pakistani British culture. It's very specific. And that trailer captured the authenticity of being that person from that culture. And what would happen if you got superpowers? Well, your mom's not going to want you going out with these strange boys saving the world, right? You still got to go to Friday prayers. You still can't go to the dance. The handsome boy with the shirtless, you can't actually talk to him, or the mother's going to drive over to the house and beat him with her frying pan, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the culture, right? And that's culture today. It ain't culture in the 1950s. I know some cultures in America were like that in the past and are much more liberal about male-female relations today in America. Ain't true for Pakistani culture. And that makes us feel really out of place. Like my niece wanting to go to the prom, becoming a huge drama in my family. My sisters never thought for 1 second that they were going to go to the prom. It never even occurred to them in the 80s. My mom wouldn't have even, I never brought a girl, bring a girl home. My sisters didn't have boyfriends in high school. I didn't have a girlfriend in high school. You couldn't even, the idea was incomprehensible to us, right? And so I'm sharing all of this is that you can critique the show. You can be concerned about the past of this comic and whether it's good. You can be worried about it. But there was nothing in that trailer that I saw that was woke. There was nothing in that trailer that I saw that showed me that it's going to be a disaster. It might be a disaster. It might be badly written. I hope to God it's not. But I will tell you, my niece grabbed the phone away from my sister 15 minutes ago and said, Mamu. Mamu is the word for uncle, right? She said, Mamu, I'm so excited for this show because I'm just like her. Her name is the same. My niece's name is Iman. The actress's name is Iman Vellani. She's like, but she said this to me, not prompting from my sister. She grabbed the phone and said, I need to talk to Mamu about this because Mamu works in Hollywood. I'm so excited for this show because I watched that and that was me. That was actually me sitting there in class, daydreaming and liking boys and not being able to say that to anybody, right? Whatever you may think about this show and whatever you think it's anyway, at least that had a human reaction from my niece who's on the spectrum.
That's amazing.
And
that's amazing. I work with autistic children, and that's a huge thing to make that connection. Huge. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that is.
No, but that's from the heart. So I'm happy.
That is true. Like that's a huge thing.
And that's meaningful. They better not screw this up. I will. If this ends up being some woke drama where they end up criticizing religion, I'm a religious guy. If they criticize Islam, I'm going to be up on their ass. If they make her dislike her heritage and say, I don't want to be Pakistani anymore, I'm going to be on their ass. But that's the thing my sister and I just talked about. If she got superpowers at that age, she'd be like, how can I do this? My mom needs me back home at 8, right? I can't go out with boys.
Well, you can trust me on this, Cameron, and you can take this to the bank. Mm-hmm. You will be back on here talking about it. So...
But I thank you for letting me say that because there's a lot of opinions and it got very heated right now on Midnight's Edge because
I heard
understand the ethnicity.
I didn't get to see it myself. Look, I love Tom. Tom is like one of my best buddies.
His view is that this is the woke trying to force racial issues on us. I understand where he's coming from and the history of this. I'm just sharing with you that this felt real to me.
This didn't feel like that.
Because it was my family on the screen. And people are like, you don't need to see your family on the screen. You can say that until you see your family on the screen.
Yeah.
And then you realize there's something actually that touches you. That's very like, wow, I actually saw this girl looks like my niece. She talks like my niece. She's suffering like my niece in high school. Suddenly I got teary-eyed. So that's what I wanted to share.
No, I appreciate that.
Thanks a lot, Cameron. It means a lot. And once I saw what was going on here, because my personal opinion is this. I enjoyed the trailer, but it felt like it was it was made for tweens and not for
Yeah,
adults.
it's a CW show. It's even that's a fair critique. It's a new effort to try to do Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They even have their Cordelia character, right?
Right.
That's okay because I love Buffy, and and the thing is, Buffy, I love Buffy, but Buffy wasn't even real because Buffy got to be a cheerleader. My sister couldn't be a cheerleader because my mom, she wears that little short dress. My mom would slap her. She couldn't be a cheerleader. My niece can't go be a cheerleader today, right? It ain't in our culture, in our little nice home in Pennsylvania. It's not going to happen. So I was like, well, now my niece can say she can love Buffy, but now Iman Vellani is her life. Without any, she been a superhero, and the mom saying, I don't like that boy, right? Then this is, that's real.
No, I feel it. I feel for you, man. I get it.
That's all.
But and just my 2 cents. I can't stand Buffy. I love the original movie. I hated the series.
Well, there is a dichotomy. I think people who love the movie versus the TV show and vice versa. I love Chrissy Swanson. I think she's a great actress. I didn't love that movie, and I love the show. So it's either or. I think.
Yeah, I hated the movie and loved the show.
It's way easier. So, are there any other questions or comments? I do have to get ready.
No, that's it, Cameron. You go ahead, get going.
I do.
I want to.
I was just going to say, UPenn's a great school. She's got a good job.
I'm so glad we're friends on Facebook. I could just fucking hit you up.
I do have one thing to say. I do have one thing to say, Cameron. I want to say thank you. Sorry for getting the religion wording incorrect. I do apologize.
Well, don't worry
but
about
thank
that,
you for
man.
clarifying all of that, because you're giving a perspective that usually gets drowned out by people automatically assuming into certain categories. So I appreciate you answering those questions, because now I actually would like to give it a chance and see it more than just say, oh, it's another Disney Marvel. So your explanation actually has changed my view of wanting to see it.
Well, that's all. And like I said, me, I'm coming from a place I want good stuff. There were critiques I had of Black Panther. And I liked Black Panther, but there were critiques I had of it, and it's okay to.
Well, it's okay. And this is something we get frustrated with: is criticizing something doesn't mean you didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
No, but they think it's a personal attack now because people can't understand that opposite opinion still can be verifiably okay, and you can still have a beer later.
And exactly, that's what we're trying to do here. And with regard to, and unfortunately, this is the product of what the woke wanted to do with us. They wanted to make everything racially charged, so that every time if you see a Pakistani character, you don't think this might be a fun character. You think, here they go again. And so that's not fair to the actors or to that character. When we see the Obi-Wan trailer, people are saying, they got a black woman as the Inquisitor. It's all about, BLM, and it's all about, I was like, why don't you just enjoy? You haven't seen the show yet, man. She looks good. I want to see her kick ass. I want to see her have a fight with Obi-Wan with that saber. Why are you jumping to it's a diversity hire? Don't jump to that, because by doing that, you're giving the woke racists what they want, which is to divide us. That is their intention. So every time we have somebody that isn't Irish moving forward, are we going to be upset? I want redheads. I want all of them. But I also, when now the knee-jerk reaction is, minority person, there's an agenda. Don't go to that. Don't knee-jerk it.
That's the problem. But it's even then, Kravitz, we're getting to the point now where we can't even do let's say, Cisco Niebuhr mentality, pro and con list that's been going around a lot more before this agenda shit popped in. And then as soon as you try to be critical, you already have people trying to label you saying you just saw it as woke. When did I say woke? I said I didn't like it because I was bored. That is an honest opinion.
And that's a fair criticism. But I'm just critiquing when the conversation of Midnight's Edge got heated, when it got to, well, it's all about bringing in the minority character, and I saw the chat got really ugly. Tom and I have our disagreements, but I know where he's coming from. The chat got real ugly.
Yeah, you're still friends.
Screw these Pakistani people. We don't want to screw these Muslims. They're trying to convert us to their religion. I was like, come on, man, just relax.
I'm sorry.
If it sucks, we'll say it's not a good show.
And the fact is, you and Tom are still friends.
Yeah,
where's my conversion? I haven't got my conversion yet, Cameron. We've been on a few shows together. Where's my conversion? Can I get it? I want it as a birthday card.
What are you mailing it?
Happy birthday. Here's your conversion card.
That's also, forgive me, I have to hop because I actually have to get to the mosque. But I think actually, as a spiritual person, God wanted all these conversations today. I went on Midnight Edge. I put my sister on the phone just now on FaceTime and let her share from the heart what this means to her and to my niece. And these are coming from neither of us a woke, right? We're coming from an authentic human place that this trailer touched us. If they screw this show up, I will come on here and say I'm really angry because
we will have you on, my friend. That is.
I've critiqued it already. the director they chose, I have problems with. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy is a director.
It's an activist. She is an activist.
She's an activist, and she's a documentary filmmaker that's very woke and has made several documentary films that make Pakistan look like a horrible, ugly place. It's all how terrible Pakistan is, right? And she's not beloved in the Pakistani community because they feel that she's getting Oscars because she's serving an agenda. Look how shitty this country is, right? It's never about the beauty of the country, because it is a beautiful and loving country. It really is. But they put her there, and guess what? Her episodes had to be reshot because she's never done dramatic storytelling. She's only done documentaries. They gave her that job because she's Pakistani woman, and that was their political concern. And I said, don't be stupid, Marvel. This woman is not liked by the Pakistani community. She's not representative of them, and she's never made narrative storytelling. I don't think she's ever a short film that's narrative. It's all documentary. It's not the same skill. So obviously, they had to reshoot everything she did. She doesn't know what she's doing. So I will continue to critique that. And if there's garbage in the show, I will critique it. But I will take this win that the trailer made me cry. I'll just take it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Cameron. I deeply appreciate it.
God bless everyone. And I hope you
Assalamu alaikum, my friend.
Peace to everybody. Peace. Take care.
Take care.
That was nice. I'm really glad he was able to make it.
sorry
Because I
for
sent the invite to him earlier.
Yeah, sorry for overtaking. I just really want to get clarification before I made any judgment based.
No problem. And you don't have to apologize. A lot of people don't know the difference between Islam is the faith, and a Muslim is a person of the Islamic faith. So that's the differential. That's it.
Gary, he's Canadian. Apologies are our biggest export.
I know. You guys really make a lot of money on those apologies.
Zach, I will come up there and punch that mask off that avatar.
Come get it.
Hold on a second. One, I like that Lord Thoth said this, save gingers. God bless you, Lord Thoth. And then Shanatsky says it's because they constantly did that, Cameron. It sadly became a trend and people notice patterns. And he knows that. He's aware of it, Shanatsky.
The religious aspect is where it's just going to have all eyes on, because I see where it's coming.
You know, we don't all agree, but we're all friends. It doesn't matter. Tom, I know Tom's fine and loves Cameron, so it doesn't matter.
I didn't see the heat, so I'm coming from my unbiased.
Asking him questions. It was because you saw us talk about the trailer earlier.
Not everybody's Keith and me, because Keith and I can talk about some of the most diverse subjects of politics, and we don't even come close to agreeing. And yet, he's my best friend, and we don't have an argument. We just discuss it and go, we're not going to agree on this. Okay, moving on.
It's one of the unique aspects of our relationship, and why I think what we offer on our show is slightly different than what a lot of other people offer. You know, we don't. You know, it's not an act for us. It's just who we are.
Yeah.
You know, try to be as real as possible.
Yeah, I don't get angry until somebody gets stupid with me. Jason knows this more than anybody.
It's very passive in here.
Jason and I had to talk about it earlier because he was there when I lost my shit on somebody and live. And I'm like, you know what? You can fuck off. You're a fucking moron if you actually think that. But
did you
sadly, nobody will ever see that because it was deleted.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah, I know. But I lost my shit on this guy and almost lost my shit the other night, too, because nothing aggravates me more than when Keith is trying to make a point and somebody interrupts him on purpose because they don't like what he's saying. And my hackles got up and I said, hey, why don't you just let Keith finish his sentence, huh? Why don't you do that? Yeah. It's common parlance, you know.
I was still kind of
because Tim is wonderful. I love Tim, but yeah, that fucking irked me, and I was a little irritated that he didn't call that person out for doing that. I won't say who it is.
I was just amazed at the fact that somebody actually came forward to say that they were actually
fans of Walter Hamada. Did you see my face when he said that? I was like, what? Are you fucking me? Oh my god!
Again, I later talked to the guy after Gary had left, and I think we worked a lot of stuff out. But I was trying to get to the point where I was just I was genuinely curious as to why he was a fan of Walter Hamada. That's all. It just, you know. Anyway,
and his arguments were so funny to me because, like, no, that's not how that happened at all. What are you talking about? He's got some weird fantasy of how things worked over there with Warner Brothers. And then he was like telling you to be quiet. And I'm like, dude, he actually gives facts that are provable, so I don't know. People, I can't stand rude. I just can't stand rude. That's my thing. And I like everybody. I'm sorry, my dog just got my attention. She's freaking out. I think we got a storm coming in.
Well, now, along with a lot of that, we also covered a little bit of sad news this past week. We covered the unfortunate passing of an Academy Award nominated and winning actor.
General Ross.
Say what?
General Ross.
Of course, William Hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, she's shaking a little bit. I don't know.
Oh. So
you hear her grunting. She grunts. It's so cute.
So, just we'll cover that for a bit. I know how many of you have seen at least 2 or 3 William Hurt films outside of what his work was.
I've seen every film.
I know you
Every
have. I'm not
TV show.
asking you. I know how much of a film fan you are, man.
I have.
I couldn't name one.
I have, Keith. I've seen pretty much everything he's done.
Oh, by the way, welcome, Pat. He snuck in.
Yeah, I'm going to stick around for a few minutes now because I don't want to be rude, but I was actually going to come on and defend myself to camera. He kind of jumped me in the chat, but I don't think it's fair to go into it when he's not here. So I won't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware of that.
But no, it's look, he was going to prayer, dude. I wasn't going to interrupt that. I mean, I'm a Catholic. I get it 100%. I will say this, though, in case anybody's wondering, so everybody knows, I didn't say anything about anybody's religion. I just point out, you have to understand, guys, I'm more of a comic book guy than I am anything when it comes to this Marvel stuff. I'm not more. There are Marvel movies I haven't even seen and TV shows I won't watch. But I will tell you this: my point that I made in the comment section, in case you were there, watching Tom and him argue, because that's when I said this. I said, and if Lord Toth is still in the chat, he could back me up on this. Ms. Marvel, MS period Marvel, has never been, other than maybe the first 2 issues, a high-selling comic.
It's not. No,
it's always been in the low 70s to 80s of the Marvel titles, y'all. Not every title. Spawn is one of the top-selling titles. Okay, that's not a Marvel comic. It's not going to include in the DC comics. So you're talking about a comic that sells probably under 30,000 issues. I mean, I don't even know if it's in print right now.
Yeah, if it's not selling 50,000
annual, right?
Yeah, if it's
and
not
that was my
50,000,
point. My
it's
point was that I made, and Cameron gave me a little bit of grief, and I don't think he understood what I said, but I'll explain it to him later because he and I know some of the same people. Was that there are other people, and I mean comic book characters, who would be more deserving of a TV show or movie right now. That she kind of jumped the line. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that.
She absolutely did. But that's Feige, dude.
And that there was some woke agenda behind it. I didn't say woke agenda. I said to kind of appease wokeness, this made sense. It's basically what I said. You can go back and read my comment. It was a very short comment. And it wasn't directed at camera at all. It was directed at us talking in chat who were the comic book nerds that were kind of going back and forth going, dude, this isn't a great comic book character. And Tom made a great point that got overlooked, which is that the whole Miss Marvel character is weird to begin with. She's 4 times removed, like Tom said, and that's very true. The whole Miss Marvel thing is just weird. I don't know how many of y'all know the history of it. I'm not going to go deep into it.
Here's the
She's
Ms.
a
Marvel
vulture,
problem.
right? She basically took Marvel's powers and made it her own, and then this person's Miss Marvel now. This is Captain Marvel, and this is and it's silly. It's a convoluted character, and it's confusing.
Well,
and that's
Pat,
why
you're missing
this
something,
time,
though, Pat.
which
hold
is,
on. You're missing something. You're missing something, which is the whole creation of Ms. Marvel was out of identity politics. Period. The name itself,
I didn't even
Ms.
didn't even realize that, but you make a good point.
It's all about identity politics, and that's why the minute your average comic reader sees that, we reject it immediately because we feel the manipulation is coming. And we don't. Comic readers above anything don't like being manipulated. They don't. Right. So it's born out of identity politics, Ms. Marvel. Everything about Ms. Marvel was about identity and nothing about character, nothing about story. It was all about identity. That she's a Muslim. She is Ms. Because they're throwing that in there just for the feminist angle, So it's all about identity, and it tanked. If you can't make 50,000 sales, your comic tanked. And I'm talking about Marvel. If Marvel doesn't get 50,000,
I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why I'm pretty sure she's out of print right now, or they're just doing an annual, right? Like that's what they'll do. They'll do an annual. If you see somebody just releasing an annual on a title, guys, that means they're just trying to keep it alive because they have somebody under contract, right, Gary? Or they want to keep that IP out there in case somebody wants to use it for, especially Marvel and DC.
Well, that's all these characters are good for as far as Disney is concerned, is for potential IPs, for making money, franchising, and putting out a film, cartoon. And there is an audience for this. There really is. I think Ms. Marvel is going to do well. Not going to do great, but as a show, they're going to get a bigger audience than they would from comic readers. Because comic readers are a very specific fucking group. We have very specific fucking tastes. Yeah. So when you write comics that go outside of that, we go, no thanks. And we don't fucking buy it. And this is where the mob mentality of, Diamond Comics comes in. That fucking cocksucker. What he would do is these comic titles, he would force fucking mom and pop operations to buy those comics in order to get the comics they wanted. They couldn't have the comics they wanted that they knew would sell unless they bought those fucking titles. They did it every fucking time. It's a scummy thing to do.
It's a scam.
And then they fucking lie. And
they reaped what they said, Gary.
Sold. Look how many sold. It's a dishonest fucking trade. And DC and Marvel are doing it on their own now, but they're still pulling some of the same fucking tactics. And they're making it look like comics are getting sales. I'm telling you, the sales for Ms. Marvel were lower than what we saw because a lot of those sales were forced sales.
Yep. So, what's the markup on a comic? When a comic shop owner buys a comic, what?
Good question.
Oh my!
How much are they making?
About 50 to 60%, depending on the title. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less.
So if the comic doesn't sell, they're basically losing half of the cover price.
I'm assuming, by the way,
on their shelf.
Yeah, my friend. Yeah, I wish this is the time where I wish we had somebody like Clobbin or Gary around because they could definitely tell us. But I know sometimes you buy them like in bulk. Six that sometimes you can actually they give you the option of like sending them back. Now you don't really send them back, right? Because it would cost much more money to send them back. As a guy who worked for a bookstore, yeah, I could tell you this right now.
Never allowed returns. No returns.
A trade paperback, is one thing, but like those mass market paperbacks, like you see like at a drugstore. When I worked at a bookstore, if we wanted to get money back on those, you know what we would do? We'd rip the back cover of the book off, usually where the barcode was on it, and we would rubber band them together and send them all back to Penguin or whatever. And that's how you would get reimbursed. And we were required to destroy them or throw them away, which we never did. We either took them home or gave them to a school or something like that. But so I know sometimes you could buy stuff like that in bulk and you can get actually credit. Like if you could prove, there you go. Toss back me up on that. It's about 40%. So
yeah, the problem is with Diamond, they didn't allow for returns. You go to a regular bookstore. Bookstores, if they can't sell a book, they tear the cover off, throw the book away, and send the cover back to the publisher or distributor to get a refund and or credit. And that's how I don't know if you guys work. But comics, no. Diamond Comics was run by a fucking, whether he was with the mafia, I don't know. But he ran it like the fucking mob. And he was a fucking criminal, in my opinion, what he did to people.
Well, I'll tell you this, Gary. The thing that, damn it, Toth, I wish you were on here with us. I could tell you this, too. The one thing that Diamond did, and this is what really killed bookstores, especially before COVID, is they would also do this. oh yeah, sure, we could send you 500 Iron Man. Do you need this for the, like, let's say Iron Man 350 is coming out, right? It's going to be a variant cover. Yeah, you can have those. By the way, if you want that many of them, though, or sometimes if you want 10 of them even, right, a small shop, okay, good. But you know what you got to buy from us? You got to buy 5 Iron Hearts, and you got to buy 5 Ecstatics, and they'll make you buy them in a bulk package, right? Like, you got to buy 20 other titles from us if you're going to get that many of that one thing. So they kind of put you on a spot because they know that whatever those guys don't sell, they can pull out, right? If it's a great title, they can keep 10 of them in the back room, and 3 months from now, they're selling those out of print titles for 6-7 times the amount of money they paid for just a month later, but they make them buy all these crap books, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Now I want you to look at that motherfucker and tell me he doesn't look like a fucking mobster.
It looks like Gotti.
Yeah, the
he
motherfucker.
I am
Look at
not
that
commenting on
cocksucker.
anybody's looks.
Hey, my name's
With their-
Steve Jeppy. Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck you, Steve Jeppy.
God, Gary, can't we just say he's an awful human being? Let's not.
He is an awful human being.
But
he
I will
really
say
did
this
use
before.
mob tactics in his business, and it's
sure
what
he did.
finally ruined him.
Well, I mean, when they became the sole distributors for comics, when they cornered
What
that
he's
market,
saying-
is really when things went bad, because there used to be two. There used to be 2 major distributors.
That's
and
right.
One of them. Say what?
Oh, I
That's
said
right.
no. You're 100% right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Keith,
yeah.
Ignore me.
And so when you have 2 major distributors and one goes out of business, you're leaving the other one to basically set the rules for everything. And that's exactly what happened with
That's
Diamond.
exactly what
they
he
were
did.
left by themselves for the entire industry, realizing they now controlled one of the biggest industries out there. And so they could set prices, they could affect sales, and they could use all these different tactics.
And worse
all
than
the
that,
mom and pop
they
shops.
pushed garbage comics on
Mm-hmm.
retailers or resellers, however you want to phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
And these people knew what comics would sell. They know their shops, they know their customers, and they were being forced to buy titles that wouldn't sell, and they can't return them when they don't. And this is what led to the collapse of the industry.
You had stuff in the 90s where everybody was wanting to do different types of gimmicks, whether it be like multiple covers or
the variant covers.
Oh God, that got out of control.
That's why in 1986 I stopped reading comics because of that shit. What Marvel pulled with the Secret Wars pissed me off. Not only the variant covers, but you had to buy shitty comic characters that you don't like, that I didn't like, in order to get the rest of the story. Or was it really? It wasn't. It was just a fucking marketing campaign, and Marvel fucking pissed me off. They made me so angry, I stopped reading DC too.
Holographic covers.
All that shit, dude.
Themes,
oh my god.
I mean, all the different stuff that they did to get you to buy books well beyond and outside of what you were wanting to buy. Let's say if you were a diehard X-Men fan, they were going to make you go out and buy every X-Men related book because it was part of this massive story, and that's the reason why they would weave the story through different books to prop up the sales.
Yep.
You know? And it was awful. It was awful.
Well, that was when the decline happened. It's really funny because Tom Waltz and I have talked about this ad nauseum in our private conversations from IDW. And we're going over the fact that comics technically haven't turned a profit with their comic titles since 74. And the reason why is because the number of people reading comics never really changes. And you'll have these spurts where you'll see growth, and DC fucked up. When 1989 happened with a little movie called Batman, all of a sudden they saw a spike in Batman sales. So they started putting all those additional Batman titles out. Remember that shit? And because they saw that spike and he thought, oh, comics are growing. No, it's not. You're just having a momentary spike. And so all of a sudden it dropped back to the normal level. And it never does because population, the number of readership regular readership of comics only grows with the population of human life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get new customers the way they think they're going to get them.
Yeah.
They're always wrong.
You have specialty comics that would come out. Death
Mm-hmm.
of Superman, X-Men #1 that Jim Lee did. Various things would come along where people outside of your normal grouping of comic book fans would come in and go, well, that's interesting. I'm going to take some of that. But it's
and
never
it's very smart to do stuff like that. Niche,
Mm-hmm.
Go for those niche markets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always smart market-wise. But the problem is when they start thinking that that's part of their core audience, and it's not. They're not going to fucking buy that. And sadly, like I said, the number of comic readers only grows with the population. It's the percentage never changes. And why they
Gary,
keep doing these stupid things, I don't
the
know.
one thing I'd love to find out, and I think I'd probably have to talk to a printing historian, is because this is the part that really fascinates me. I also know that a lot of it has to do with how much they were making comics for versus how much they were selling them for. Because now that we have all this nice fine vellum and this glossy material, you guys know when you were reading stuff in the Bronze Age, right, which is kind of when you stopped, right? You stopped in 86, 87. So at the end of that,
I was straight graphic novels after that.
Okay. Well, when you go back and if you look at a ticket price from 1986, like if I went to a matinee when I was a little guy and it was $2, well, that would be like the equivalent of $7.50 in today's dollars for a matinee. But if you go back and you look at the cover prices of those books from the 70s and 80s, and you look at it in today's dollars, you're still talking like $2, $2.50. I mean, what a Sunday newspaper costs, right? Well, that's because a lot of times it was printed on. It was the same paper as a newspaper, just a little bit higher quality, a little bit thicker, and everything. And I'm just wondering how much of that played into it. If we still had books that were really that cheap, because I know you guys, anybody here who's older than 35 will get what I'm saying here. You remember going to a drugstore probably more than you do going to a comic book shop or a bookstore.
Mine was going to 7-Eleven.
There we go. Down in New Orleans, it was a place called K&B, which was a kind of a catch-all drugstore. It was just a huge drugstore, and there were multiple locations. And they had spinner racks, right? And you guys all know what spinner racks are. It doesn't matter how old you are. But they would have multiple spinner racks at K&B, right? And that's how you would get your comics. I'm just wondering how many more would sell if we still had a cheaper way of printing them. And I guess my answer to that is probably not much more, because you could still get them on digital, but digital's so different. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I hate reading stuff digitally if I don't have to. There's something about holding something. When you buy a book, it forces you to spend the time with it that you need to and everything. But I just wondered if they weren't still that crazy cheap. Can you imagine going out and buying something like a comic book right now for $2? You'd probably get 10 different ones, and you go home and read a bunch of them. But when you get there and it's $5 is the cheapest one, $11 for an annual. I saw the other day. I mean,
the use of vellum, the use of high-end paper is a problem. Keith and I have talked because I'm in publishing. We do publishing. And when I've published books, I always look for the least expensive paper, but still good quality. But, if you went back to using the pulp, the pulp newsprint style paper that they used in comics when we were kids, and go back to, you can still use, because it's cheaper to do laser printing than it is to do 4-pass, 4-color printing.
Yep.
It's actually cheaper. But if you went back to using that paper, you would drop the cost of your comic by 50%.
At least 50%. And the comic cost on the covers would come down dramatically. I'm telling you, they could get away with doing it, but they don't, because they like the look of the paper. And a lot of the people that have become fans in the years since they've started using this paper are all used to the way that the pages look and how the color pops and the feel of the paper and all. You try to get some of these kids today in with pulp paper, and they're going to look at it and it's like, what's this? So the color's off, and it's kind of all these excuses. it should be about story quality. And this kind of paper that we're using now, in my opinion, should only be used for special events, special comics. That's
every
originally
title
what
the
it was
same
used
one
for.
is just ridiculous. But the fact is comics have to change if they're going to survive. They really do. Independent comics is where it's at right now, we're going to see that transition eventually with the industry. If that or they're going to go away.
Yes,
they won't survive.
When I started buying comics when I was a kid, I'd buy them from the drugstore, from a spinner rack, from the hobby store, and then it wasn't until the late 80s, 90s when I finally was able to find a comic book store. And then I was going there all the time, getting my pull list, and it was about a half an hour away from me. Now the nearest comic book store is 45 minutes away from me, and he's told me that he'll hold my pull list for me for a few months, but it was becoming too much of an effort to buy my comics. And so I finally just told him, just cancel my whole pull list. And so that was a few years ago that I just stopped buying them because they don't make it easy to buy them. I can't go to a drugstore or even Walmart and get my comics anymore or anything near of what I would be interested in buying.
And that is what really killed a lot of it, because the way that the comic companies are being ran right now, okay, now that everything's become corporate, is that both Marvel and DC now do not operate the way that they used to back in the 90s and in the 80s and the 70s.
Yes.
A lot of the people that are running DC right now are people that were getting coffee for a lot of the major talent that ended up leaving 6-7 months ago. Or should I say 2 years ago at least, for the real talent.
Well, that's how Kathleen Kennedy started out, getting coffee.
Mm-hmm. And it's bad, and it shows, because it used to be that when you were made a part of one of these companies, you had to start from the very bottom. So usually you're starting on comics that aren't the best sellers, or you were writing stories that would be like a second story within an established book. Nowadays, it's just like whoever you know, who you tweet with, who you hang with.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much get whatever you want. And so nobody's having to really work their way to actually earning not only your audience, but learning how everything works. And it's the reason why you get like certain issues of Marvel Comics where they've shown that the artwork is just less than even bad. There was an issue where somebody had drawn Captain Marvel, and the artwork was so bad in a Marvel comic. It made it to print in a way that 5 years ago, something like that never would have made it. The quality of that draw, they would have sent that back to the artist or found somebody else to do it. The quality.
That artist probably checked the right boxes.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing. You've now gotten to a point where everything is so corporate that they're not really worried about these comic book companies actually turning a profit. They turn to these companies now to be kind of like holders of IP for them to use. So what's happening with Marvel right now is something that DC's been dealing with ever since Warner bought them. DC has, and again, I know I get roasted sometimes when I say this. DC Comics stopped existing as soon as Warner Brothers started using them as just a placeholder for all this IP that they're going to get around to turning into other things. DC's never really, the DC Comics that I actually knew and loved pretty much stopped being what it was in the 70s.
I would say that some of it survived into the 80s and 90s, but it was definitely dead by the New 52.
Yeah.
And it was
Marvel,
one of the first conversations you and I ever had.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, that New 52 is garbage. Fucking garbage.
And then you notice how long it took Marvel to fall off a cliff once Disney bought them.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I want to say hi to Martin Acosta Santana, who has joined us.
Hey.
What's up, my friend? And of course, the always evil Monkey Jeebus. It's good to see you guys. T-shirt has jumped in. What's up, my friend? Who else has joined? Nobody else. That's it. That's it for right now.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and hop, Gary. But I will say this, Keith. You inspired me the other day. I went and watched Gorky Park for the first time. It was probably the only William Hurt movie I had never seen.
I'm a big fan of that.
Well, yeah, I know you, but you like everything. When
giving Keith credit for shit that I did.
When Keith said, "Yeah, that wasn't a bad movie either," I was like, "All right, I'm in." I loved it, man. Talk about a movie that is stuck in time, so it still really works, right? Because you could go back and almost watch it as a historic drama piece. And Lee Marvin as a heavy was phenomenal, but you have to give William Hurt all the credit in the world, because if you go back and watch that movie, that sucker is in every scene. He might not be in every shot, but it's always either like he walks into a room or somebody walks into a room with him and stuff and everything. He is in every scene of that movie. It's incredible. He was the absolute thread, and I love how he played it where he didn't try to be too Russian. He didn't try to, he played a real low-key English accent. I kind of picked that up. Like if you were a Russian doing English, you were speaking like with an English accent. Now, of course, most of those actors were English people, but like Lee Marvin and what's the guy's name from Tommy Boy? Donahue.
Brian
Dennehy.
Yeah, who's phenomenal too. They both played it with the
kind of
American
resemble him
accents,
a little bit, don't I?
because they're American. Yeah, thinner him for sure. But no, I really enjoyed it. And top three William Hurt movies: Big Chill, Gorky Park. It is that good. I don't think it's just because it's
This
fresh in
is
my
the
mind.
list I posted over on the Pop Culture Minefield page. Number 1, Gorky Park. Number 2, Altered States, Lost in Space. Number 3, Big Chill, History of Violence. Mr. Brooks, because people forget he's in that fucking movie with Costner. Kiss of the Spider Woman, The Accidental Tourist, The Last Full Measure, which if you haven't seen that fucking movie, go watch it. True story.
Wasn't the Spider Woman one the one he won the Oscar for?
I didn't.
Yeah.
It was also based on a
play.
Tony Award-winning play.
Yep, and Raul Julia was amazing in that film. Oh God, he was. It's a great film. And then for my honorable mentions, I had Body Heat, Eyewitness, Michael, which a lot of people forget he's in that movie with Travolta, Dark City, Broadcast News, the 2010 Robin Hood, and every appearance in the MCU. It's like I fucking love. I love fucking William Hurt, man.
Well, Gary, I
One
hope
movie that I would put on there, which is M. Night Shyamalan, The Village. I know a lot of people aren't.
I didn't like that movie.
Courtney,
I
that's
didn't.
my favorite William Hurt movie.
I got into a debate with someone over the
Spectre.
fact that I don't have Gladiator on that list. I said, the problem is, as much as I enjoyed that film, when the balance is more problems with the film than things that I like about it, it won't make one of my lists. And there are too many things in that film that annoyed me. But I still enjoyed it. Gladiator's a fun film. But,
well, Gary, I hope you didn't leave. Children of a Lesser God off of the list because of
I
some of
forgot
the
that fucking
controversy.
movie. I love that movie.
But I got to
It's a
tell you,
great
dude,
film.
as a teacher, any teacher who watches that movie, that's like a beloved movie because it's just so. It's so good, especially if you did special ed, which I was a special ed teacher probably 3/4 of my career, and it really spoke to me, So I enjoyed it, and I think it's unfortunate that it's overshadowed by some of that foolishness that probably didn't happen. I think it was two people, one of whom was 20 years older than the other person, dating in real life, and it, there was some
What do
weird
they call that?
dynamic there, but it was
spring-autumn relationship.
Yeah, but at a different time, though. You're talking about the 80s. I mean, that was a different time, folks. So, but I will leave it at that. But thank you guys for hearing me out and let me hop on and everything. And
no problem.
yes,
buddy.
I will be in chat listening to you discuss Mr. Hurt.
Well, we're actually getting ready to move to the last thing we're going to talk about, which is Sam Raimi and Batman.
I'll be there for that.
What?
All right.
Yeah,
So-
Sam Raimi was quoted. Well, I'll let you put up the article, and everyone can see it.
Yeah, this is an article I can actually open because it's not a paid, it's not behind a paywall. Thanks again, Keith, for that.
Get a library card. That's how you get around a
thanks for
paywall.
making me feel poor, Keith. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for that class warfare, Keith. That's cool.
Yeah. White man's burden and all that.
Yeah.
I'm making sure
It
I
ain't
get
easy being green.
It ain't easy, man. Getting a lot of chat here. I want to get caught up with it. Let's see. What do we talk?
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of people commenting in the chat.
Yeah, you got
Sorry,
to get
guys.
caught up. Good Lord, as Father Weems would say.
So my
Good
mom
Lord,
had to call
Barry,
me.
Good Lord.
My mom had to call me after I left to explain to her what the Snyder Cut was, because she didn't know anything. Yeah, it
Did
was
you
funny.
know that it's just slightly less than a regular circumcision?
No, I didn't. But we did have a rather. I wish I'd have recorded it because it was the coolest conversation an adult man could have with his mother. It was awesome.
Without committing a crime.
Right, yeah. Oh, hey,
she's
right
back.
on, Mom.
Your mom's back.
Good for you. Getting a petty.
What about Harold and Maude? Sorry.
That's a great
My
film.
favorite movie. That's
I
my
love
favorite
Harold
movie
and Maude.
ever.
I love that movie.
It's like
I haven't seen that movie.
It's a spring-autumn relationship between these two people.
Oh, that's
who
that's where he
meet
got
at funerals. They both find out that they like going to funerals.
I love that movie.
What do they call that when
fakes
you
his suicides and-
when you break into a party that you're not invited to?
Gate
crash.
crash.
They crash funeral.
Party.
Yeah.
This old lady and this young kid, and fucking great film, man. And it's got
Only
Cat
time I-
Stevens. The entire
Cat Stevens, the
soundtrack
whole
is Cat
soundtrack.
Stevens.
Only time I ever watched Harold and Maude was in my AP English class my senior year, and I haven't
You
seen it
see it
since.
again.
So, yeah.
Watch it again. You will
Yeah,
have a
that is-
totally different
Yeah,
feeling.
you got to
about
watch it
when
because you
you're- as an
want to
adult.
watch it, not because it's required watching for school.
Right.
Bud Cort was really good.
Bud Cort was great, dude.
He's
And
always
there's
trying
a
to get
guy
his
whose
parents'
career just
attention.
died. His career
I'm off
died,
right
man. I always liked that.
Oh,
guy.
hey, nobody said anything when I left earlier. Do you notice this sexy shirt I have on now?
Is that a Domino's pizza logo?
No,
I
it's
think
rocking
so.
my it's rocking my charity.
Yeah, that's the logo that I'm going to
I'm
be
official.
remaking, so it looks better.
I'm official now, y'all. I'm official.
I'm dying to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it more of a 50s diner look when I'm done with
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
so
yeah.
It'll look good.
Yeah.
But once again, thanks for being here, chat. We really appreciate it. The last 20 minutes, I wanted to go into this little baby. Let me pull it up on screen here. Yeah, baby, here you go. Sam Raimi wants to make a Batman movie. If I saw the bat signal, I'd come running. That's what Sam Raimi said. Now, if you've watched our show religiously, you'll know that they do mention in this article Oz the Great and Powerful, which is ironic because that is what he is called by all of his friends.
We have your part, sweetheart, and it's not going to.
May I ask a question? I didn't want to
Who's
interrupt.
talking?
Did that not work?
Somebody needs to mute.
Who the fuck is talking?
Oh, it's Dark Knightly.
Is that coming from your side, Dork?
I don't know. Did it not work?
I heard someone talking in the background.
Oh.
Was that you? I don't know who that was, but somebody was like, yeah.
I'm using my Bluetooth headset for the first time, so it might be picking up something. So I'll just mute it.
See you tomorrow at 1:00.
See you
One
tomorrow.
o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock.
It's just been horrible. And
Yeah, it's your mic.
been
It's your
horrible.
mic.
shattered my.
Oh,
my
okay.
left foot.
Yeah, it's yours.
Shattered
I'll mute you for a second.
Now I'm intrigued.
So Sam, yeah, I know what's happening at 1 o'clock. Is someone gonna die?
The prostitute will be
Sam Raimi, of course, has this great history, and if you watch our show, you know that
Her name's Charity.
we discovered the
That's way too
secret.
that.
Are we done, children?
No.
Are we done? No.
Done.
Okay.
No, I
his
have to know what
nickname.
happens at 10 o'clock.
We'll find out. We will find out. So, if you watched our interview with Josh Becker, he let it be known the secret nickname that Sam Raimi has with all of his friends, including Bruce Campbell. He is Oz the Great and Powerful. So it's funny that he would direct the movie Oz the Great and Powerful. And I do enjoy that film, by the way.
That was, hey, and if we were smarter, if Kyle was here, we would drop the link to the interview that we did with Josh, where he has a funny story about that I called.
At funeral? Are you talking the funeral?
No. His
own dad's funeral, man. And
isn't Kyle here?
He is.
He's right.
Oh shit, my bad. Well, he wasn't when I was here last. My bad. Yeah.
You got to stay on top of things, Dork.
Hey,
He's
Kyle.
in a Courtney Six sandwich right now.
So,
hey, Dork.
So, but
wait, wrong way.
what's this? Hold on. Orders now. Lord Thoth. Okay, yeah.
Well, shit.
So we're caught up. We're caught up again.
Okay, good.
So basically, what it is Keith, you want to take over on this one because you read the article too.
Sure.
Well, did you see my question in the chat?
What?
About where did he say? Who did he make that quote to? Because I this is news to me. And I apologize.
It's right here in the article.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi wants to make it. See, look on the screen above us. There,
yes. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. This is why they call it dope. Just so you know.
Amen. Hey, you know what? I'm on official business right now.
They call a lot of things dope.
Okay, Gordon.
Wow, where's my snack pack?
Where's my snack pack? So go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, basically, turns out that with the success of Matt Reeves' The Batman and the upcoming Doctor Strange 2, Sam Raimi let it be known during an interview that let's see, let me catch up here. It's no surprise that the character he cheekily teased away back in 2004 would be the one that tempted him back to the big screen. I've always loved his comic.
Never mind. If you don't, I don't want you don't have to walk. I was just gonna do.
I muted him.
It was brilliantly done, he says of Doctor Strange. But as it turns out, that's not the only comic book character that Raimi has a particular affection for. If Batman is predominantly in the custody of Matt Reeves right now, with the Batman still raking in major cash at the box office and a spin-off series headed to HBO Max, the Cape Crusader would be a real draw for the director. I've always loved Batman. If I ever saw the bat signal up in the air, I'd come running, he laughs. In fact, it sounds like there's a whole list of comic book characters beckoning to Raimi too. If I heard the deep, gurgling laugh of the Shadow coming from the darkness, I would also tentatively step aside, and Spider-Man would be strange.
And we can stop there because we've got the gist of it. Basically, look, Darkman was a take on the Shadow and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely stolen from both of them. It's a fun film. I enjoyed the crap out of that film.
I love Darkman, and I love the Bruce Campbell cameo at the end too.
Yeah, where he's that's the new face he's got on.
Yeah,
it's such a fun film, and it is clearly a nod to or stolen from Batman and the Shadow. Yes. And those were two films that he was always interested in doing. Yes. I think he was very disappointed that he didn't get to do Batman and Tim Burton did.
Yeah. So can I ask a question? I see the Shadow. I see the Shadow. Maybe it's because I haven't seen it so long. I never really made a link with Batman when I watched that movie in the past. But
Cranston is absolutely because he was in league with the Shadow League. Where do you think that came from?
Yeah, when Batman was created as a character, the Shadow was one of the characters that was part of the inspiration for the character of Batman.
Exactly. Zorro and Batman and the Shadow really gave us Batman.
You know how the Shadow has his two guns that he uses? Well, in Batman's first adventure,
he had guns.
That's what he has.
Yep. But basically, the Shadow
I just
League,
lost a bunch of nerd cred. Sorry.
So the Shadow League evolved from the Shadow, the whole thing. The mysticism of Batman, that all came from the Shadow. Ra's al Ghul, or however you want to say it.
Yep.
Ra's al Ghul is how I grew up saying it.
Yeah. But
there's a debate over that. I thought it was just Ra's al Ghul.
A lot of people don't agree, and I don't care. It's
yeah.
In the Arrowverse, it's Rash, and in my life growing up, it was Ra's.
Okay. Tomato, tomato.
Raimi is a big comic book fan. Okay, and so I'm happy because if he ever got an opportunity to make a Batman movie, there are people calling this the best Batman movie ever made. I think Raimi's Batman would far exceed whatever this current film is known for. He's that much of a fan.
He's
Yes.
Evil Dead. He did all the everything.
First,
I think everything he does is good. Poltergeist, didn't he do?
First of all, I didn't get to join your show where you guys talked about Batman, but I loved that movie. But after what you just said, Sam Raimi would knock that out of the park.
Oh, I believe so too. 100%.
Oh wow! The reason I like the movie so much, the Matt Reeves one, is because it was the first time we got, as a fan of Batman and the comic books, Batman who debuted in Detective Comics and is a fan of the Arkham Asylum video games, where the whole game is basically you being a detective. This movie, instead of Batman being in the Batcave for a million years and staring at a screen and getting help from Alfred and computers and what's his name? The Morgan Freeman, I forget, right? Lucius Fox. Yeah, sorry. He's out there in the streets being a detective, knocking on doors, shaking people down, pulling up carpets. You know what I mean? I know y'all didn't like that door knocking stuff. I watched the video.
The first one I didn't like because it was dumb.
Yeah.
The second one made sense. He was Bruce. But as
Yeah.
Batman, it was just like, what the fuck are you
Come
doing?
on, Dork Knight. Let me in. It's Batman.
You know what?
Knock, knock.
So,
Evil doers.
Again, I'm gonna lose more nerd cred. I actually popped my tits off like a fucking little girl at a Beatles
I swear to
concert.
God,
I
if you
loved it.
use Kleenex over that, your friendship
Dude,
with
no.
me is really in
No,
trouble.
man, I would not. No, man, it was cool because he was like, because it's year two. It's year two Batman. Okay, you got to think of that. It's only
Year one and
year
two.
two. Ish. Okay, so maybe month 11. I don't give it. Anyway, it's early on in Batman's career. And, to me, it's like he knows. So the cops have this like love-hate thing. Like Gordon loves him and calls on him, but all the other cops have no respect for him and don't like him. And the villains kind of respect him because they fear him, but they don't also want to fuck with him. So to me, it just made sense that he would be like, I'm just going to knock on these motherfuckers' door and see what's up, because they're not going to fuck with me, and the police ain't going to fuck with me either. So like, boom, 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 boom. That's how I saw it.
Dork, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you ever had to watch a group of kids?
I used to be a substitute middle school teacher in the early 2000s.
So you're watching a room full of kids, and it's time to have lunch. And you've got the lunch there sitting on the table. You got all the kids sitting around, but you've
I've had
told
lunch
them not
duty
to
before.
touch anything.
Okay.
And something happens. There's a crash in the corner. You got to go check on it. How long before one of the kids decides to reach over and grab something they're not supposed to?
The second I turn around.
Okay, so none
Literally.
of those cops took Batman's mask off.
Okay, that's a totally different scene we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's a
And you know
logic
what?
issue. It's a logic issue.
That I 1,000,000% agree with. I did not like that. Was a fuck up, but that's a totally different scene. We're talking about a totally different scene. Like I was talking about the door knock.
When you were, can I just say, when you were describing that scene with the knocking, it reminded me of the old SNL skit with the mailman and the shark. That's all I
It's like, honestly,
Candygram.
it's like this.
Candygram.
Dork Knight, that's something like this. Who is it? It's Bat Avon. I have vengeance mascara. I have vengeance mascara for everyone. I need to cover all your criminals' eyes in vengeance
Is that-
mascara. Brought to you by
is that like-
Bat Bullying. Maybe
Is that
it's
like Mary
Maybelline.
Kay?
Mary Kay.
I don't know what.
Kay. Bat Kay.
Hello.
Avon is like
Trick or
Mary
treat. It's vengeance.
Hey, Dork, I got another one for you. So
Okay.
you've got Catwoman in the movie, right?
the hell's up with that mask? I can't tell.
Can you tell me what her storyline was? I mean, what was she actually after?
White supremacy.
Was it avenging her mom, or was it finding her best friend? Which one of the two?
Do you want me to? Yeah, can I speak? May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
May I
Go ahead.
answer
I'm
that?
sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's okay. So, I actually dug Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman a lot, and people talk about the mask. I'm gonna get to your point. I'm just working backwards. People talk about the mask with the basically it's just like a beanie with little pokey cat ears and it's cut out. I dug it because again, if this is year 2 or month 11 Batman, this is very early Selina Kyle. And they make it clear, I think, I mean, they didn't explicitly say it, but basically she's bisexual because she's trying to avenge what her girlfriend or try to find her girlfriend rather, and ends up her girlfriend's dead. And then she also has the storyline with her dad who ends up being Falcone, which they took a lot of liberty with that. I'm not sure how I felt about that.
I wasn't the only thing they took liberties with, but yeah, keep going.
We can
I understand.
See all that, Gary.
What?
Gary, we can see all your DMs.
Yeah, I was trying to share a video. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh. There's nothing in there that's
your Apple ID passport has been reset.
No, you can't fucking see any of that shit.
Guys, he calls it dope. I have ADD. I've already forgot what I was talking about.
I do too.
All right.
That's why I interrupt.
This is called ADD theater. Everybody on this fucking show has ADD. Are you?
I know what we were talking about. We were talking about Zoe Kravitz.
I have the scorpions in my head because of
okay.
My problem with Catwoman wasn't her appearance or anything. It's the fact she's 5 foot nothing and skinny as a reed. How is she going to beat the crap out of Batman or any other?
That girl was too heavy.
Whoa. Do you not watch Kung Fu movies, bro? Bitches can be badass. I don't care how small they are. If they know what to do and where to apply pressure and leverage.
Dark Knight. Last time I watched anything Kung Fu, it was about a guy who was choked by his own nylons in the bathroom.
Oh my god.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem to me, brother.
This time, I'm so happy that it is not Dork Night going dark with this show. It's fucking Steven. Thank you, buddy. You've now taken all that pressure off of Dork Night for having brought us down twice with dark stories.
No, I'm technically.
Hey, let me tell you about this time I found a best friend dead. Oh man, this is gonna be a great show.
Oh wow! What you still throw that in? You still? Oh my god! I'm sorry. Just you know what? It's a video.
Don't have to
you
apologize.
can edit
I love you, man. You're awesome.
Clip all that out.
It's a joke.
You
Calm
are
down. Don't get your nylons.
No,
in
he's
that.
not. He's in Dork.
Sorry,
knows
my bad. Don't get your
Dork
nylons. in
knows I fucking love him. He
Oh, yeah,
knows
no,
I love him. Shinetsky says Partners in Peril was the Shadow story Bob Kane ripped off. Yes, it's true. Well, Superman was stolen from Doc Savage. There's a lot of fucking grifting going on with the comics early days. We know it. We know it.
Well, duh. I mean, you got the Inhumans, the Justice League, they all ripped off each other back in the day.
Hell
man.
yeah. I want to show this clip real quick before we continue because I love this line from Keanu Reeves in the film, the trailer.
Oh shit!
Wait, can you hear it? Can you hear it?
No. This is the Super Pets, man.
I'm going to have to remove it and add it again.
I actually am super stoked for this movie. It's sickening.
I am too. I saw it. It made me chuckle in the theater.
Dude,
Deanna and I went to see the Batman, and the best part of the Batman for me was the goddamn trailers at the beginning. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, and
Here we go. Now I'll play it. You should be able to hear it.
Except for Robin and Alfred, Commissioner Gordon, my IT crew, whoever Morgan Freeman played. What do
I fucking love that line. Whoever Morgan Freeman
I
played.
literally just said that, and I didn't know. I didn't do
I
that.
know that's why I had to grab the trailer. So I'm like, fuck, I got to show that. I fucking laughed my ass off in the theater, going, whoever came up with this fucking idea is great. But once again, what's going to piss me off is some people are going to go, this needs to be canon. And those are the people we need to kick in the taint. Stop fucking saying that. Peacemaker is not canon.
Pets
Harley
are allowed
Quinn
to be
cartoon,
anywhere.
not canon.
It doesn't have to be like. Did nobody ever read comic books? How many different
Well, there's
variations?
parodies even in the comics that are not canon.
you've got, well, not only that, you got parodies, you have what ifs, but you also have, like, for example, like, and I say this all the time and I don't want people to get it, but like you had Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Foes of Spider-Man, just Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Like, and they're all
Japanese Spider-Man.
They're
Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, they're all.
And I am hoping, by the way, that we get to see Japanese Spider-Man. I really am.
I used to be an
somewhere
asshole
in the MCU, because
used to be.
If you have not seen the Japanese Spider-Man, he was basically Ultraman but with a Spider-Man costume.
Yeah. No,
it's fucking great. He's fighting kaiju.
Yeah, it's all over YouTube. I highly recommend
Spider-Man
it.
rocks.
Because I partake in the devil's lettuce, and like when you do that,
no way.
When you do that and then watch Japanese Spider-Man, it's like the best shit on earth. It's like
after the show,
I've never heard it called the Devil's Lettuce.
After the show,
you haven't?
Night
I'm a Catholic, and that's what they used to jokingly call it. Back then.
That's where I got it from my childhood.
After this show, Dork.
Jesus is radish. I don't know.
If you were part of NCO, not NCO, shit, what was our organization called for kids? Dork.
Thank God they're not
Dork's
mine.
left the show again. Dork's involved with Mike or whoever that is.
Dork is currently talking to the stripper charity.
Yeah, stripper charity. Dork, what was that?
I'm being too loud. I gotta lower my voice.
What is that organization Catholic kids are in? CSO, is that it? I can't remember. I was in it.
CSA? Is it
Children's Services?
No, it's Catholic Society of America, I thought, or
something like that. And
trying not to say something inappropriate right now.
The Devil's Weed is where I heard that the first time, and I just like, the fuck is the Devil's Weed? I was so clean cut, I didn't touch any of that shit as a kid. I was.
Oh no, man!
I was your typical fucking altar boy.
We lost.
Not me, man. I started smoking weed at 11.
My parents turned me on to it. I've had a very different experience.
Am I being too loud? Sorry, mute me. Sorry, mute me.
Is he over?
I have no problem muting you. There, you're muted, motherfucker.
Damn white people.
Let's see.
I grew up all around it.
Look, there's no original stories. I mean, this is a simple fact. There are no original stories in the world. What it is original ways of telling the same stories. That's why there's so much similarity between
how many times has the hero's journey been told? I mean, exactly.
What?
Yeah, and Chuck Dixon said it best. It's like, stop using the hero's journey. You don't need it for every fucking adventure story you want to tell. It worked with Star Wars, and it works occasionally, but you don't have to fucking use it every single time. It's the Bible of how to write a good adventure.
See, but that's the best thing now. What we need is Batman and Robin, but done with the script from Night at the Roxbury.
CYO. There you go. Thank you, Pat. CYO.
Can you picture that?
Thank you, Pat.
I thought it was going to be Spider-Man, but done with the script from 54.
Oh, God. Magic Mike Spider-Man. There you go.
Now you're talking.
There you go.
Oh, that was supposed to be.
If I'm going to see a Batman movie, I want to see some dick. Spider-Man 2. I need to see.
Dick.
Does he shoot webbing out of that thing when he ejaculates?
No.
Yeah.
Superman.
Because they make the joke in the movie.
It's
they make the joke.
Do you
in
think
the
I'm
movie.
dirty or something? It's not the dancing.
They do. Does it come out anywhere else? Like,
yes, it's Spider Dick the Thickening. Okay, let's get it straight.
I do love that. I laughed my ass off at some of the inside jokes that were told in Spider-Man. No Way Home.
Hi, Keith's mom.
Hi, Dork Knight's mom.
Oh, and I'm not the real Steven
mom would be
Seagal.
cracking
Stop
up.
sending me messages about talking to Putin. I'm getting sick of it.
well, you're the
People
one that took
think
the
you're
name.
the real fat Steven Seagal cracking
People
me
keep
up.
messaging me, asking where my next
And by the
movie
way,
is.
I do want to show the artwork off again. I did this for Steven, that artwork.
And I just kind of made it 3D
that's
with the
nice.
little logo and changed it up a bit. Yes, thank you.
And with the a parents advisory logo thing.
I
Are you
like
trying
Actually,
to
it's the
take
Black
credit for it,
Lives
Pat
Matter
Steven?
poster.
What, Courtney? What,
I said,
Courtney?
was Pat Steven trying to take credit for it? But he's like, and I changed it.
But I did. But I did.
like when
Gary made the 2D variant. I actually used a remove background and made it 3D. That's why there's a shadow near the thing. Yes, but yes, he drew it. And I'm still waiting for the version where he actually signed it with his name.
Oh, okay. That's like me
Just
taking
so you
credit
know,
for drawing
Pat-
something I colored.
I don't know what you gave up for Lent. I gave up being Catholic.
I was going to say, you can give up God or like something like that.
I gave up not giving
I gave up my faith. Because I don't, I'm not really a true practicing Catholic anymore, and I lost my faith. I don't do Lent, but I recognize it when it's here, and I don't do Ash Wednesday like I used to. I got scared to death at Ash Wednesday once.
I do Evil Dead Ash Wednesday.
I went to what's it called when they do the laying on of hands and they're speaking tongues. What is that called?
Pentecostal.
Pentecostal. Yeah. I went to a Catholic Pentecostal style Ash Wednesday service. Father took us. He grabs me and one of my best friends, Patrick McGrath. We were both long-haired fucking rockers. We were in a rock band together, and he's like, "Come along with me, you long-haired weirdos. You'll enjoy this." So he kidnaps us and takes us to this Catholic church like 70 miles away to have Ash Wednesday. And they start like doing the laying on of hands and praying out loud and speaking in tongues. And Patrick and I are like terrified sitting in our seat. And at one point the priest goes, "And Jesus is in the room." And no shit, Patrick and I went looking around. We were so freaked out. Like, what the fuck? They would do the ash thing and then touch the head and people would fall back. No shit. There is a Catholic version of Pentecostal.
Oh my God.
It's fucking weird. And Father was
you
like,
think that's bad?
Afterwards,
my mom.
Father's like, he goes, "Well, what did you boys think of that driving his little cheap Mercedes all the way back home?" And we're like, "We don't ever want to go there again, Father. That was scary."
Can I ask a question? Would it be offensive?
Call yourself a recovering Catholic?
What?
Do you call yourself a recovering Catholic? That's what my dad
No,
said.
I just I don't. I'm just Catholic. I still consider myself Catholic. It's just
really.
My dad was scarred. That's what I'm saying. My dad.
I don't believe in the supernatural, mystical aspects of things. I'm just beyond that.
So, but I have a question though.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it offensive if I rename a Wednesday show Hash Wednesday?
No, I don't care.
No,
I think that's funny.
So my buddy and I. So I've always
You have a
joked because
buddy?
I was. Yeah, a couple.
Holy shit, Matt! What the fuck?
Oh shit, Vader, join us, bro. Why?
No, don't. He's really weird. Don't do it, Matt. Save yourself.
What?
Come on, man.
I don't know. I'm so messing with you.
You know you want to join
Why
us.
did he say cult for Pentecost?
Here you go, Matt. An invite to the show right there. Boom. Jump in.
Because it is anybody who speak like. First of all, I don't know, man. I've seen that shit firsthand because I used to be in the St. Mary's Boy Choir, and you have to like go to different types of churches, you know. And and when I went to this Pentecostal church in High Point, North Carolina, people would like do this thing where they like raise their hand and start talking in gobbledygook that they say is tongues. And I'm like, that's some made up bullshit. That ain't
like Matt Vader's doing right here. Hallelujah, blah blah blah. Salami,
salami, bing, ding dong. Exactly. Come on, that's some bullshit.
Some weird stuff.
I told
happens
you.
Too.
You know, I told my therapist, like, I got bullied as a kid. The worst bullies were nuns, and they would knock the shit out of me.
Do you still have PTSD when you would use a
no?
ruler?
But when my therapist outed herself as a nun, I got very uncomfortable, and I told her, I said, I have a fear of penguins. That's how afraid of nuns I am.
That's funny because are you a Steelers fan? Thank goodness you are not a Penguins fan because that I might have to leave the chat. That's
why he doesn't wear tuxedos, Courtney. That's why
I
he
say
doesn't wear
praise
tuxedos.
Jeebus.
No Penguins, no Sidney
I
Crosby.
prefer to go with my my spirit animal, Ron Burgundy or Will Ferrell, and I'll be like,
Yep.
I love that.
praise 7 pound 8 ounce baby Jesus. You know.
Now,
First of all,
Knight,
Father
first of
Damien
all-
was a good priest. That's from Shogun.
And secondly, Dork Knight, two things. One, you're quoting Talladega Nights, and two, your spirit
Yes, I
animal
know.
your spirit animal is a bong. Let's get that right, okay?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a former student of Steven Seagal, I want to say that this is in fact the real Steven Seagal.
We don't
Steven
this
Seagal.
stream is no longer supported by horse shit, fake news.
Yeah, I do.
And I want to say to Vader's comment you just posted, this will be gone tomorrow by the time I'm on your stream. Don't worry.
Is it fake?
Why?
No, this is real. And it's white. No, because this is for an
And
event.
it's white?
Yeah, I'm old, man. That's why I shaved all this off.
I bet I'm older than you.
What's
might be
old?
You know what?
man.
You guys can shut the fuck up because I'm older than
What is
all of
old?
you.
Old is
Like a-
my
like a
face is
comfortable
covered in
thing
white
is like,
hair.
I need to know
That's
you.
what old
Nothing
is.
more. It's like when you're fat and somebody goes, "I'm getting fat." That's really thin, and you're like, "Shut up! I'm fat." It's like old people like myself. When you start saying, "I'm getting old," fuck you. I have you by a decade. Fuck off.
How about
You know
Dork?
what,
How old
bro?
are
But
you?
all your facial
You're
hair
fatter than me too, Gary.
is
Meh.
it white. So I don't. It's like
I don't know. I think you're fatter than me now.
I probably am. I probably am.
Keith, I apologize on behalf
so-
of all the white people.
Hey, remember
My,
that
uh,
time I
I'm gonna
had gay
ask
sex
again.
on the
I'm
show?
not
Okay,
white.
And the
So-
one Hispanic.
I'll answer
Thank
the
you.
question. My buddy here, because I'm being super loud, overheard. He doesn't hear your
Praise
side. He
Beavis.
wants to know: does whoever's complaining, which I guess would be Gary, he's like, whoever's complaining about being older than you, ask him if they have white hair
In their nose.
in or on their nose.
On their
All-
pubes?
This is all white.
Gray hairs in
Where
I
your
do you
dyed
nose.
keep
my
pubic
mustache
hair?
and goatee. I
He
have
didn't care about that. He's asking about, like he says, either on or in your nose. Are they white
Yes,
yet?
it's all
They
white.
are. Okay, they are.
This
Well,
is
then
all
you're-
white.
Are the
Then he
pubes white
said-
too?
I'm
he
not
said
shaven.
that you're old.
I'm not shaven. You can't see it because it's white.
You can't see me.
Because you're so pale.
See, it's easy to see Keith's white hair because it's against the very darker face.
Are you
I'm
saying he's
fucking-
black?
You're younger than me.
I am saying that he is a black motherfucker.
Okay.
And yes, he's got white hair that shows up.
Keith, did you
See,
did you
white pubes
did you
look
realize
good
you
on
were
a
black,
black
Keith?
man. White pubes
Yeah.
are distinctly
I want to say,
Totally agree.
that it is true. I've had a few mothers.
Yeah.
You
Can I
motherfucker.
ask a question? Can I ask
And
how
I do
Gary-
have to say, Gap, you are correct. Shogun was a great fucking series.
Shogun was a
Toshiro
great movie,
Mifune
great show.
Was
Yes.
so amazing in that
Wait,
fucking movie as the Shogun.
There's a serious question here, though, Gary. How the hell
that?
do you know from personal preference that white pubic hair on a black man looks fantastic? How is this even a relevant
I
conversation?
just said, remember that time
So-
I had gay sex on the show?
No.
So first of all,
No.
I can like even just from an
Because of the
imaginary point of
contrast.
view. Yeah, exactly. Because like I know
Black
because
and
after
white
my
are
heart
black,
attack, all my body hair, including the ones you're speaking of, turned white, and I'm a pasty Irish white guy with white hair. It's not a good look. But if I was black with white hair, that'd be like fucking Dragon Ball Z shit. That'd be awesome. That'd be like,
Dragon Ball Z shit? What the?
Hey,
Super Saiyan, baby. Super
They go
Saiyan.
blonde. They don't
He'd be
go
using
white.
his white pubes as a weapon.
Gary, where did
I was
Six
gonna
go?
say
I get on the
Supersonic.
channel and then Six leaves. What's up with that?
She was having connection issues.
Oh, okay.
Kyle told us because she just dropped out all of a sudden.
Oh, okay.
So
At least it wasn't my fault. Or did
Yeah,
I
it is
offend
your
somebody
fault.
else? Okay.
I'm good at that, so don't worry.
I am a repeat offender. I repeat, I will offend again.
I answer to a higher
This-
purpose.
This show is Keith's catch and release program.
Look, put my mom's thing up. She's right. She's right.
we are now that show that to catch a predator.
I'm Chris Hansen, and
What was
that
that?
pubes are black.
Chris,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Let's
Well,
get
you
it
know,
back on the
guys
track.
who have been busted said that they would rather face the cops than face Chris Hansen when he was in an interview. And I was just like
He was
laughing, going,
intense, man.
"That's a hunk of bullshit," but it's good. It's a way to sell your show. There you go.
Who's fighting a chocolate
You walked
bar?
in a room for a date
That's
and you
me.
saw Chris Hansen, you'd be scared.
Yeah, afraid of the cops, not Chris Hansen.
Afraid of the whole world seeing you.
Did you want some, Steven?
He's scared.
No. Why are you showing your?
Yeah, we
Hairs.
talked about gay Captain Kirk earlier, and once again, this is Kurtzman being a complete fucking cunt. He's been warning us that he was going to do this, you know, that he was going to make a bisexual
Who's Lamar?
Captain Kirk. But he's not only breaking canon with that, because he was a notorious womanizer in many ways, even though it's not as bad as people have made out.
The mouth
Made
breather
out.
under the
They made
bed.
out. But Kirk, you know, was notorious for making out with women. And,
Hey man, that's what I loved about Captain Kirk. He didn't discriminate.
Nope.
Black, brown, blue, yellow, green. He didn't give a fuck. As long as it was
Dax, I love
in the
you,
middle.
man. Keep putting out that G4 stuff.
Hey, who is
As
the
long as-
only woman that Captain Kirk ever married?
Oh,
Dr.
Yeah. No, he didn't marry her, though.
Thanks, T-shirted.
And no Googling, no Googling.
I'm not.
I'm saying bye to
Rathacon.
Zach in the private chat.
God damn it! Had you not asked me, I could have told you.
We just lost somebody again.
Zach's had to leave.
It was Zach's. I was saying bye, but I got to keep some Googling, I think.
And I say goodbye, too.
I seen in the chat.
You know
He
what?
doesn't, I don't know what we're talking about either.
It's because I smoked.
No, that's why it's ADD
Go back to
theater.
your home on Whore Island.
I can answer the question.
Go ahead, Keith.
And 5, 4,
Oh, the show's over, PJO.
2, 1. Miramani.
Who?
No.
Miramani.
Who?
Miramani.
You keep saying the name, but who? You got to give me context, man.
Yeah, man. No.
There's an episode of Star Trek where Kirk loses his memory.
Oh, the Indian girl.
Yes.
No. I'm thinking Mark. What's her fucking name?
That doesn't count, though.
Carol Marcus. Carol Marcus.
No, he never
Carol
married her.
Marcus.
No, he was
also
out of
in
wedlock.
the books, he was married.
Oh, he just
he was married in the books.
I don't think
He
they
had to be
ever-
because by the
they had
time
a
they did
kid.
First Contact or whatever it was, where he met Jean-Luc Picard, he was married at that point too.
Yeah, but that's Kirk, man. That's like his 4th or 5th wife. I'm already on wife number 3. Give me a break. Yeah. And I ain't no
I'm
William
married
Shatner.
after one. I'm going through a divorce. Just no, never again. Nope.
You know, it's easy to say. It's easy
I'm
to
never
say,
getting
but
married. I'm
love,
too damn old.
love is the worst drug
Yeah,
on
I'm the
earth.
same.
man.
Seems
We
like
don't
too much
say that
hassle at this
either.
point.
You say that.
Divorce
Worst
is
drug on earth.
but I've been doing it for like a year.
And I've done it twice. Yeah, and I've
What's
done
wrong
it twice.
with you? You seriously have mental problems, I think.
I know, and professional help is being sought. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. I'm derailing it more than he is. I'm bad.
No. Look, we derail when we're. This
I'm
is
the
a
bad
free
kid
for
who
all. We don't have a guest on,
It's
even
okay,
though
Courtney,
we
we
did
love
have a
you.
guest for a few minutes. But part of what we do is derail, and that's half the reason why people like watching is because we derail in fun ways. And
Yeah, I gave up putting on topics on Week in Geek, so I just said, fuck it, let's just get up there and lunch table this shit.
Question:
That's why I
Would
don't have
anyone like
topics
to
for
buy
the
a
show.
pair of used nylons off eBay?
Not if they came from
yes.
David Carradine.
No, but I have
God.
several
I do.
almost new condoms over here.
And that was
Barely
full
used.
circle.
Barely used. If you want to buy them, I'll sell them 25 cents a pop.
Would you like to buy a leather belt that's been mildly choked? I mean, used. I mean,
Are you giving up a fetish, Steven?
yeah. I mean, I switched to petticoats, flip flops, and choking people in Toys R Us.
Okay,
I just
I'm
prefer
out.
fraudaging
I'm out.
myself.
Leave out the Toys R Us part. You had me laughing.
That was Desiree Miller, wasn't it? Oh, wait, was that at Walmart?
Oh boy.
Here, I'm going to share this real quick, and this will be our outro discussion. It will be on our next episode of Scoop Zone.
Oh, well.
Because we're going to go in depth on that show. But this is new on Mikey's Geekosity site,
Oh!
Disney Plus.
Gary,
Daredevil
before I
reboot
forget.
will be R-rated on like Netflix.
Okay, Gary, before I forget, you did hear about the Buzz Lightyear gay story thing going on, right?
I so don't care, but yeah.
But yeah.
I heard that shit. It's like, look,
So
the
It's
minute
like,
they
why?
hired, the minute they didn't bring Tim back to do the voice, I'm like, yeah, not interested.
So,
I'm not interested.
so
in
I
the
just
fucking movie.
want to say to wrap up an earlier conversation because of what somebody said. Kirk was not married to the chick from Generations,
No, he's very
but
smart.
if you consider comic books canon, he was married. He did get married to Carol Marcus, and I knew that. And if you don't
I thought he was
believe me,
married to
Google it.
Spock.
Now, okay, correct me if I'm wrong,
They got-
Keith. But the animated series was canonical too, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought so, because it was good.
Yeah, that is actually where we learned about Spock's pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Targ.
Also,
we
it is
Courtney.
the.
We got a question from Courtney.
Thank you. I've never seen Star Trek.
You
What?
never know?
Okay, let me say this
Bye,
before
guys.
I
See you
let me
later.
say this. The
But I mean, Leonard Nimoy
the cartoon
albums on
is
vinyl.
where we learned his middle initial was Tiberius.
I have a question as well.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It is the cartoon where we learned that it's James Tiberius Kirk.
Blasphemy, Courtney.
I do have a
now to address Courtney. What the fuck? You've got to go out of your
It's
way to not watch Star Trek.
I've been
or
told
have
that.
seen it.
So I was never thrown into like a Star Trek crowd as I have been since I joined YouTube a year ago. So it just never was. It's not that I dislike it. I just never. I don't know. But I had Leonard
It's not too late.
Nimoy
It's
album
everywhere.
on vinyl.
It's on Netflix.
I'm
It's
kind
on
of, like,
Amazon.
cool.
It is on Paramount Plus. You can't
I
miss
never
it.
sought it out.
Is this
Well, I know.
Codball
I know it's
talking?
there.
Is this Codball talking?
I have a question.
Yeah, I'm Cod Boss. I love that. I like that.
I have a serious question.
Nickname.
Would
What's your
any
serious
of you,
question?
Would any of you on the panel or chat be interested in buying bottled farts from Fat Steven Seagal?
No, and not that other
No, but if you
cheap
change your name to Amaranth, I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Oh shit!
You know what, Courtney? It's
He
all
can't be on the
good.
same panel with someone who's never seen Star Trek, and I'm not like knocking it or making fun of it. I just
No.
honestly, it's
You've just
people
never
can't
seen it.
believe it.
What is your
Never watched
sci-fi
it.
background?
Porn.
Mine?
Yes.
Who? Oh, him. Oh,
Yeah, I
was
swear to God,
thinking,
if you
like,
say
the
that
labyrinth, like
Star Trek
fantasy,
porn,
like
not
labyrinth and
Star
never
Trek,
story.
I'm gonna
and-
lose my fucking shit, Courtney.
I left in protest of that
I did.
question, but I came back.
I do know what Ferengi is though,
Well, that's good.
but for a different reason. For a different reason. So, I
I
mean, I knew what the
met
character
somebody
looked
who
like.
said that they had seen Star Wars porn, but had never seen the actual Star Wars movies. That's a real conversation that happened. And I just looked at that person like, okay, I don't ever want to talk to you again.
What did they say?
That
They
they,
never
had
seen,
seen,
like, the
they had
one-
never seen any Star Wars films
But
or
they saw
shows,
Star Wars
but had
porn
seen the
parody.
Star Wars porn parody.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So I'm like, what the fuck? Stop talking to me.
That
I'm that Captain
I could
Picard
say I
meme right now.
Trek
Just saying.
porn. That would make my story
Speaking of that,
better.
who has watched Picard so far?
I watched.
I
two
do a show
episodes,
about
I'm
it.
done.
Okay.
Oh, I do a show about it every Saturday. I watched the
I'm gonna watch
third
tonight.
episode.
I need to catch up on that. Okay, but I want to
See you
know
later,
how it
Matt.
is so far. I'm
Bye,
not
Matt.
gonna watch it because the first one was so bad it scarred me for life. But I need to know how bad the second season is.
I'm digging it.
What?
Sorry, I
Keith-
hated season 1, but I'm digging this one personally. Just me. You know.
Keith, I don't know the answer to this question Monkey Jeebus asked.
Wasn't there Tiberius in Roddenberry's previous cop show? The Lieutenant? Huh.
I think there was.
Wasn't the
Now that I
Lieutenant
think
the
about
military show?
That was oh man, Lieutenant. You know what? That's the show where DeForest Kelly came from. Man, it's been so long.
Monkey Jeebus, stop lying.
Yeah, that's not a cop show. That's the Marine Corps. Yeah, that was Gary Lockwood. He was the star of that show, and you'll notice that there were a lot of people that were friends of Roddenberry's that ended up in Star Trek that had been on previous projects with him. Because that's
Imagine
common
that.
actually in Hollywood. You know, it's very common that you get your troupe together and you have your group of actors that you like. John Wayne had his own troupe of actors that he liked working with.
Every director does, though.
Yeah, it's very simple. You'll notice actors in this over and over again with Cronenberg and other great directors from
Well, Tarantino always has the same people
John
working on his
Hughes.
film.
Yeah, John
John
Hughes.
Hughes
Yeah,
always had the same, yeah.
He did.
John Waters, same thing too.
I'm gonna look it up. Brett, Gene.
You can tell the types of movies I like by the directors. I said.
I secretly believe that Tarantino bases all his casting for his female actresses based on their feet, but that's just my thought.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
yeah, that goes without saying.
I mean, you only need so many close-ups of Uma Thurman's feet to figure out.
Yeah,
The largest.
She had some hammer toes too, man.
She also has gigantic nares. That's the opening of the nostrils. They look like black holes that could just suck the entire universe in.
Goddamn, Gary. Won't you come?
In answer to the question about Tiberius, I don't see anybody named Tiberius, but that does not mean that there could not have been a guest star whose character name was Tiberius. But again, as I've often thought, the cast for the lieutenant was amazing.
No, it's
Gary
great cast.
Lockwood, Robert Vaughn, Richard Anderson, $6 Million Man, and Greg Morse.
Okay, I'm gonna out-geek you motherfuckers for a minute. There is a show that I missed, or that only ran like 3 episodes, but it actually ran. They made 5 of them, and it was amazing. And I don't know why it was canceled, but it was a good show. It was. You guys remember Beyond Westworld way back in the day?
Yeah.
Beyond Westworld.
Yes.
No.
It only ran.
It came out right after they made the movie Future World.
Yeah. They ran 3 episodes, and then it was taken off the air. It was like on a Sunday night, I think, or something. But
nobody was watching it. They didn't advertise it.
Yeah, it just died. Just, I mean, you know, it always made me kind of sad. But it had George Takei was in it.
In fact, because I watch a lot of Perry Mason, and he was in an episode of Perry Mason, George Takei.
Yeah,
it was a good.
That guy got around.
Let's see, Connie Selica.
Yeah, Connie Selica was in that too. She was a replacement for the woman who was in the pilot.
And Russell Johnson, fresh off of Gilligan's Island.
Mm-hmm. Was a good show.
I bought 5 jars.
Yeah,
Of your
why are
own
there
parts?
2 of why are there 2 of me on here? Is that Steven being an asshole?
That's Steven being an asshole.
Other way. Other way. Other way.
I do it the wrong way all the time.
Now you're pointing at me.
That was me.
That's not me. That's not me.
Well, see, if I point this way, I know I'm pointing at Keith, and if I point that way, I know I'm pointing at our buddy.
That's Wolfen.
You could always rearrange the squares.
I just got used to it. Keith and I kept pointing wrong for like the first year. We just got into the practice of remembering it's opposite.
I made this meme in protest of him leaving to protest.
Oh, okay.
Good
job.
Bought 5 jars.
Dude, no. What? There was a thing in the news recently. Some celebrity got sick or something. Almost died from farts in a jar or something. Like
Oh no, the woman who there was another woman, not Amaranth, but goddamn.
Sorry.
There was another woman who was jarring up her farts and selling
It's
them.
for me, I'm not here.
And making a pretty good killing at it. But the problem is she altered her diet to produce more farts so she could sell more jars. Unfortunately, it gave her all kinds of stomach issues, and the doctors told her she had to alter her diet again to prevent those.
Bloating.
Okay. She
Eating
didn't die.
lots of cabbage and drinking Dr. Pepper.
I don't know what it was. I think it was like a lot
Here.
of beans and stuff.
Let me tell
Dr.
you
Pepper will
from
do that.
personal
Have your gallbladder
experience, the greatest fucking producer of gas when you're camping out is Cheetos and fucking Dr. Pepper.
Why are you?
Really?
Dr. Pepper?
I had the worst cramps. Charlie Bruce, who's Keith knows
Tell you last
Charlie.
time I eat 'em.
We went camping and we had too many Cheetos and too much Dr. Pepper. And it led to me doing a test. I took unpopped corn, popcorn, but that's not been popped, put it into a gallon jug, poured Dr. Pepper into it until it was about 3/4 full, capped the gallon jug, taped it, and put it out on a fence post and left it there for a week. And I came back and that thing was like a round ball sitting on top of the post full of methane.
Right. Well, you do
And
realize
when we shot it exploded into a giant fireball. It's so beautiful.
Okay,
Don't do
but
this at home.
Here's the deal, man. Look, I'm a Texan, so we Dr. Pepper is our state drink.
Yep.
Give me a hell yeah.
Because the real
And,
Dr. Pepper was made there.
Yeah, and Waco, Texas. That's right. And if you wanted the kind with the sugar in it,
I
it was
call
in
it
Dublin
Dreamy.
for the longest time. But the deal is, okay, one of the ingredients in old Dr. Pepper, and I don't know if it's still there to this day, but it was prune juice, yes. So yeah, I'm not surprised you had gas.
Here's the thing. Here's the worst combination I've ever experienced in my life, which is close. It's and it was camping, which is why it was funny. Beans that were mixed with bourbon while drinking Dr. Pepper.
Oh my
That
god!
You shit your pants, didn't you?
That sounds really
I can
disgusting.
neither. No, it was delicious, and I can neither confirm nor deny those accusations.
Was anybody sharing a tent with you?
Not for long.
Yeah, I was a kid at the time. Yeah, I think I was my brother and I. Yeah. And my cousin, my brother, my cousin Billy. Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds like it's going into a story I don't want to hear.
No. That's it.
Well, whiskey and kids mix very well.
And my David Carradine was bad. What the fuck was that?
And I know that's something from PTSD from Dork Knight stories.
Sorry, man. Hey, beans and bourbon, nothing will give you squirts worse than that. I was just gonna say.
That's something I don't want on a t-shirt.
Speaking of fighters, Fat Steven, you'll probably appreciate this. I am kind of having talks with Gary Big Daddy Goodridge about coming on the show at some point.
Oh, wow.
And if you remember him, he fought in Pride, he fought in K1, and he fought in UFC. He's got some traumatic brain injury because of his his ring wars, but he's a Canadian.
So okay, so you're actually asking because I'm Canadian. You weren't asking the
Yes.
fact because you thought I had brain injury and I thought we could relate.
No.
I mean, what's the difference?
Shut up or I'll shave your face.
I definitely have brain damage.
Well, thank you, Courtney.
And we want to welcome all our friends from Canada.
Yes, we love Canadians.
Queen Canada.
I'm going to throw beaters at all of you.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and wrap up. We're getting weird.
I
now.
love
We're
Canada.
just getting
I really
weird.
do. Every time I visited there, I've really liked it.
I have a friend who
And I
lives in
came back.
Calgary.
I will share a fucked up story before we go. When I was new at being a paramedic, and we're in King County up in Seattle, we get a lot of calls in Beacon Hill, which is really the gay area of Seattle. And we got a call for suicide.
Oh.
We show up and the cops are in the living room, and we walk in. It's really kind of dark in this place. There's only a few lights on. It's like really dark when we walk in. And I said, where's the body? You guys, this bathroom.
Oh,
So
no.
my partner and I walk into the bathroom, and there's this person in a tub laying there, candles everywhere, burning, and their head is back. And I'm like, oh shit. So I walk in, and the first thing you have to do, you have to process. First step, you got to check their pulse. So I reached to check, instead of the wrist, even though that was hanging out, I went for the neck to check it here. And as I reached and touched the neck, the guy opened his eyes and says, "What are you doing?" And I jumped and threw my gear out of my hands. I was so terrified by this. And
Startled.
I'm like,
I think
I am so
startled.
sorry. And my partner's like, what the fuck is going on? We turn and look, and the cops are like,
So that goes back to
quietly
Harold
laughing.
Laud.
The
Was
dead
it
body
bacon?
was in the bedroom. That was the boyfriend
Oh man.
taking a bath to
Damn it.
calm down.
That was some shit, dude.
Those cops were fucking assholes. I almost had a heart attack.
Well,
from
you're
touching
like
that guy.
you're 6'5", aren't you, Gary?
I'm 6'3".
You're
Keith is
6. Oh, I thought you're 6'5". Oh, Keith is
Keith
6'5".
says,
Keith is taller
Yo,
than
man,
you.
I'm 6'2". He is not 6'2". He is taller than
Hey,
me by
yo.
at least an inch. He's 6'4".
Okay, well, I'm
I'm-
surprised you weren't stuffing your size 12 up that cop's ass for that. But
Now, the one time I ever fucked with cops is they threatened to give me a ticket because I went over a curb at 45, splitting lanes. So, because people weren't getting out of my way. And I went over the curb, and he said I was doing 45 going over this curb, median. I'm sorry, not curb, median. And I get back to the station, and I hear about this shit. And I said, if I took one of our ambulances 45 over a median, it would rip the suspension apart. I was doing 5. The cop didn't like it, and the cop was there when I said it. I said he didn't like it because it was a gang banger that we were responding to. And I said, and I turned to the officer and I said these exact words. I said, if you've got a problem with that, we'll make sure to go even slower when it's an officer, if you want, because you guys are, a gang too. You just have different colors. And I walked out of the room, and I got suspended for it.
Wow.
Oh, you only talking the truth, SA? It's blood in, blood out.
It pissed me off because I've been to a lot of gang shootings.
Hey, Dark.
You Asian?
Yo, I'm Mexican, dude. Seriously.
My girl's Guatemalan. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Like,
yeah.
Everybody knows that. I was just kidding.
It's all right. We'll just talk like white people and be offensive back, okay?
Hispanic talk again.
Just so you know, T-shirt identifies as a trisexual triceratops.
Pansexual.
He's a triceratops that will try anything.
I'm a pansexual.
I just learned what a pansexual was.
And on Sundays, he identifies as a traptor.
All right.
So,
what's a traptor?
It's a Tyrannosaurus raptor.
Cecilia, can I join?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, hey, Zax knew who I was talking about. Good job, Zax.
Oh, Cecilia's here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm.
I know who it is. She's here. She's in the chat.
The other dude got mad at me.
Shut the fuck up. I'm reading it.
Pero, meet away.
Stop talking, George. She says.
I don't know what that means.
She says, I'm so sorry, my friends.
Are you
I'm
pointing?
So
is that the Giants? Your Giants girl that likes the Giants?
Can you just blow me up quickly, Keith, Gary? Because I think this will sum up Dork Night right now.
Yeah, I bought 5 jars. No, I won't blow you up.
Okay, that's not me. That's not me making that noise.
Hello, Cecilia.
Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily.
I said I would root for the Giants over the Steelers.
It was her. So
that's
I like
my girl.
With that,
but I'm not a Giants fan.
I got to tell you, I've got a dog who's shaking right now, just like, hold me, daddy. I think it's
my
Storm
poor dog.
coming in.
My poor dog's not used to me being gone from home, so God knows what he's doing.
Shitting on your bed,
pissing on the floor.
Probably, probably.
This one is just terrifying.
Well, an
She's
Amber
a
Heard.
good dog. The only place she will poop if she's doesn't get taken out is in the bathroom on the tiled floor.
Well,
that's good.
She's getting it in the bathroom.
It's better.
She won't go anywhere else. She only goes there. That's
Dexter took a shit on the floor in front of my TV for the first time ever. He's never pooped on my carpet before.
And did he look straight at you in your eyes and never break eye contact?
No, we weren't home.
Watch me do it, Dork Night. Watch me.
Yo, SM, I'm shitting on your floor.
I'd have smacked him in the face if he'd have done that. No, he did it. We came home and there was poop on the floor right in front of it never happened before. I've had that dog years. Never
Well, whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
What was on TV?
Wow. I don't know. We do leave my TV on, so like
What
whatever
channel?
Roku screensaver thing,
I'm going to go ahead and show these last chats from your woman, your fiance.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry,
Virtual
baby.
hug. Let's get. I'm going to show this video, and then we're going to all say bye. Tell everybody where we can find you. So here we go.
The other day, I went up to my girlfriend. I said, I'd like a little pussy. She said, me too. Mine's as big as a house. Yeah. See, she wanted a little one because hers was big as a house.
And that guy's a movie director
and writer, screenwriter.
Well, he somehow thinks he is his character from that movie.
He's
now.
the Lawrence Kasdan of action buddy films.
Yeah,
Lawrence Kasdan.
No, he is the Lawrence Kasdan of action buddy films.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't get the reference. What's the big deal about Lawrence Kasdan? I mean, he's a producer, right?
I'm stopping talking
director,
to you now.
writer.
Isn't this the guy that was giving me
Empire
shit
Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi?
Oh, is that
Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Silverado,
Oh,
The Big
okay.
Chill.
Yeah.
You need to turn in your nerd card right now, buddy.
Yeah, man. I don't give a shit about who produces this shit. I just want to know who the fuck directs it.
No, he writes and directs. Fucking
Fucking even Dork Knight.
Empire Strike Backs.
Even Dork Knight knows. Jesus Christ. All right,
I have too many interests to follow up on that shit. I mean, I bet you can't even tell me who makes
You were
Elden
the one
Ring,
with
huh?
the good musical taste, I think.
Bro has stressed me
You
out so
could
much.
teach
I
the
need a
music.
cigarette.
I
Let's
would.
say
I
our
would not
goodbyes.
involve myself.
I usually
in
need one of
that.
those after sex, Dork Knight.
All right, let's get going here. Dork Knight, where can we find you?
Prison.
Right. Yeah, probably right there at Dork Knight LV. You know, that's funnier than you realize, and I'll be releasing this show in about 6 months, and you'll understand that later. But at Dork Knight LV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. But really, follow my charity. Whoops, this one right here. It's called the Cosplayers Alliance. It's an amazing
First person
charity
I've ever met that confuses his nipples. Yep, very well done.
Fair enough. No, they
All
help
three of
kids.
them.
Yeah, I will be
also
working
support
on that
Castle
logo
Rock.
next week, buddy.
How'd you know I had 3? You know.
All right.
Yeah, check 'em out.
T-shirted.
Yo. Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's your T-shirted historian, and you can catch me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, where hopefully I'll have Gary and Fat Steven, maybe, possibly.
Ooh,
For the Weekend Geek.
The Weekend Geek.
Weekend Geek.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Why do I feel like a
Courtney,
prop
where
all
can
of
we
a sudden?
find you?
You are a prop.
Oh, hi.
You're just there to help me get subs.
I should have changed my name, but my channel it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, or as somebody said.
I'm glad to finally meet you and hang out with you, Courtney.
Yeah, who's talking? Is that T-shirted?
That's
Or
T-shirted,
I
yes.
can't tell. Yeah, you're the one. You have the good taste in music. I remember you from somewhere. Like
that's
some
me.
Party, just change your name
so
to.
speaking of music,
You need me to get somebody?
to what?
Yeah.
I
All right, hey
love-
guys.
The Fellowship of Oddballs.
I gotta go. Work calls.
All right, see you, Dork.
Okay. See
Bye.
you, Dork.
Later, Dork.
Anything else, Courtney?
Hold on. I'm just putting this really quickly so people can actually see it. That's what it is. That's my channel. And for now, I do Friday night, like kind of like hangout streams. I do before and after Creepy Little Book. Sometimes only one of the shows, but yeah. And during the week, you just see me in random other places, but we don't need to talk.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully we'll get you on here a little bit more. Let's see.
We'll talk
Who's
all about
next?
Star Trek.
Yes.
Of course, our good friend Das Wolfen.
Das Wolfen.
Now, Keith and I know where we can find you. Tell everybody else where we can find you.
Pretty much everywhere for Das Wolfen. Twitter, not Instagram.
And of course, if you come to a Keith birthday party, you will see Das Wolfen in person.
Yeah.
He is the one not eating the most cake. I out-ate him.
Wow, phrasing, Gary. Phrasing.
I put pizza in there, so no. Our good friend Deleted Scene, Steven.
All right, I am Deleted Scenes, and I am the YouTube Ronin, as T-shirted once called me. I
Yes.
have my own channel up and running now. You can see me on Saturday Serial, along with Matt Allen on his channel, Bud Boy Productions. That's at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to be appearing on Rambling Canucks Karaoke Saturday night. And I'll be appearing along with Jedi Bill 797 on Sun West Theater. And also coming up, I'm going to be on a round table with a review round table of Picard. They got to murder me, and I'm going to be joined by Latina Slant, Culture
Wow.
Casino, and
Wow.
Midnight's Edge, and whatever other victims will get sucked into this between now and then.
This ominous
Damn.
black hole of personalities.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And we
Well,
are
that's
all
good.
about to die. From what
That's
I
like a
know.
who's who of awesome
Yeah.
YouTubers.
Yeah, outstanding, dude. That's really good. Of course, I'm not going to show Keith because everybody knows where you find him. Next to
Keith,
me,
did you Sessler clap?
and Fat Steven Skull of Canada.
All right,
Real Steven Seagal.
All right, before y'all just keep bringing out one-liners, I am Fat Steven. You can find me tomorrow on Brand the Anime at I think 1 p.m. Eastern for we're talking Trigun, Badland Rumble. We have a discussion there. You can find me on my channel, usually covering stuff going on in the U.S., which stemmed from Canada. It has to do with convoys and other stuff. Gaming on Twitch, lunch table with Lorraine on Fridays. We're working our way up to the 5K mark on the channel. Everyone who's been supportive is fantastic. Thank you for dropping by and just being there. Other than that, you want to come on the show and ask questions about what's been going on in the U.S. or Canada? Hey, just ask. You want me to come on the show? Send me a DM. I'm never too busy to answer a tweet or a question. Other than that,
Seriously,
thank you, Gary.
man.
And Stephen,
Stephen
please
will-
ask your friend Mr. Putin to stop hurting Ukraine.
Yeah, please. We're so tired of it, Steven Seagal.
Fucking hate white people.
Martin Acosta Santana, thanks for showing up, man. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Appreciate watching the show. Past that, you can always find Keith and I right here on Pop Culture Minefield. And we do shows on, we do Friday, TGIF. We do Saturday morning fun time. And then I show up on Nick Weiser's, Toxic Tuesday, and which we're going to be doing Animal House in
Gary.
this next coming episode.
Gary.
Yeah.
You're still on the Weekend Geek. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I don't get to come on because the family demands me to be around again. Deanna's probably watching this fucking thing right now, too.
I'm also doing Elden Ring on Twitch.
Yes.
I play Pokemon Go.
You can find Keith pretty much, at any convenience store buying candy. He's always buying candy. He's a cheap motherfucker, too. He doesn't get the good ones. He always gets the knockoff candy.
Well, does it get
I
Necco
always get
wafers?
candy too.
He is absolutely a Necco wafer guy. You
I figured
cannot
he
make,
was.
I like Necco
you
wafers.
cannot make a whiter candy that he
Oh,
loves.
man.
Necco wafers have been around since the Civil War.
See,
I'll have you know.
I
Oh
think
wait, that was bad phrasing, wasn't it?
No. Keith is a Charleston Chew dude. He likes black on the outside and white on the inside.
Oh, well, then he probably likes Almond Joy and Mountain.
Yeah, I thought I went too far with the wafer.
Oh, come on, I'm kidding. Charleston
Jesus
Chews are
Christ,
awesome.
You racist asshole.
I am not racist. It's a fucking awesome candy.
He probably
Keith,
likes the zero bars too.
Keith,
Then
how
Keith, you know I'm
racist
not
was
serious.
that? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, guys. Keith, Keith, don't you dare, don't you fucking dare, don't you fucking dare. He knows I don't mean it like that.
Yeah, it looks like he's
God
playing with
damn.
somebody's titties there.
well, you know.
He knows I'm not serious
Can you
like
go to
that.
mama? Go to mama.
Okay, if you want to squeeze my titties, that's fine too. All right.
Adjust the volume.
I'm just
adjust the
adjusting
volume.
no, this is
Yeah, that's adjusting the volume right there.
this is checking the temperature of the
Jesus
water.
Christ, guys, you're gonna get me canceled.
So I want to thank our panel for being here. Thanks for everybody.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad I got to invite some of my friends from the chat to join us. Glad that happened. Courtney, you need to be on here more often.
I just invited myself.
I love the squid art or octopus art behind you.
Oh, where, how do we show it? Yeah, there you go.
Who did
Next
that?
and they're Biggie. See, I have Biggie Smalls too.
Oh, Biggie.
Yeah, a guy's name who's absolutely ironic from the moment he chose
And Bowie.
Biggie Smalls.
I pointed the right
Aw,
way because I knew where it
Bowie.
was on the wall.
Aladdin Sane.
Yeah, I know
And
that
my-
you're down here. See, I know to point this
Great
way
rock.
with you. You're down there. So I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank the chat. Great show, guys. A lot of fun. A lot of ADD. But it was awesome having Cameron on. Cameron, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, yeah.
I really
Dude.
appreciate it anytime he shows up, man.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
I actually want to watch Miss Marvel now. Like that's someone can't usually do
Well,
that
when
for-
you see something through somebody else's eyes, you can't help but have it impact you. So it made me stop and really rethink what I said. But I still feel that it looks like it's for tweens and not for us. And I think that superhero shows should be for everyone. But anyway, what do I know? I'm just what do they call us, boomers? I'm not a boomer. Keith
I thought
and
you were
I
going to say
are
I'm just
fucking
some
Gen X.
guy. And like, don't go there.
I'm a boomer in the computer sense.
We are X-Gen, but we get mistaken for boomers because we're cranky. And say cranky.
Well, we're reaching that age where we just don't care.
Yep.
Exactly. So with that, I'm going to do the final outro of the show for the day. And our outro from Keith and I is please get off the lawn.
Wait, what do you forgot that one thing though?
We pay real good money for those sprinklers and to keep that lawn looking nice. And of course, Charleston Chew, which is brown on the outside and white on the inside. I'm not going to direct that at anybody, but that's what Fat Steven is saying. So thank you all for coming and have a great weekend. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at 12 noon Central Time for
Where's his other hand?
For our good show, which Brandon joins us for, of Saturday Morning Fun Time. Until then, farewell. Mwah.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Remember, you can find us at Pop Culture Minefield on both Facebook and Instagram. Thank you again.
Fucking love this outro theme that we got.
It's good.
Bye, Kaylee. Bye, Monty.
So loud.
Fucking yeah.
David Carradine.
Young